No question on that one, dude. You might be able to rally, but she ain't inviting you to go do shit anymore.
No shit.
No bird. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, let's go. We can go by Casey's Steakhouse. Oh, no, can't do that. We can go by Billy's.
Nobody will be in Casey's.
Yeah, but what if somebody just happened to go in the bar and I'm sitting there?
Oh, yeah, bro. The wrong bar, though.
Yeah, but no. That's all I need. Bow to go in there. Bailey's in there having dinner.
No, who would rather? No, never mind.
What? What? What were you gonna say?
Oh, Mike, I can't talk.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm Chris Davis, KER in Newport, with news every half hour and when it rains on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180. Call or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com.
You've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you, wherever you may be, however you may be listening, or however you may be viewing. For those subscribing on YouTube, it's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Friday, 5th day of December, and we've got a busy Friday broadcast on a cold and chilly Friday afternoon. Chris Burdick is producing the show as we get into Kernak the Magnificent will join us at the bottom of the hour, along with entertainment reporter Rick Bentley, Brandon Lang with his NFL and collegiate picks. We had a big weekend of college football tomorrow. A lot of championships going on, a lot of playoff spots will be decided. We'll talk with Brandon at 4 o'clock. And really excited again, we talked with the Dodger historian Mark Langell at 4:30 amid many trade rumors circling around the Dodger organization. We'll get into that. And speaking of the Dodgers, the Metro approved Frank McCourt's gondola, despite the Los Angeles City Council voting 12-1 not to approve it, and Karen Bass, the mayor, being dead set against it. We'll see where that goes, or whether they appeal this thing. And there's another nationally recognized murder trial. Brian Walsh is up for murder in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. He is alleging that he stumbled upon his wife's dead body in her bed, panicked, dismembered it, buried it, but did not kill it. I don't make this stuff up. That's what he's claiming. That's his defense. I came home, she was dead in the bed, and I didn't know what to do, so I panicked, and so I chopped her up. I'm sorry. That's not funny, but it's funny. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absurd. It's really, this thing has to go to trial? You can't just sentence this guy? Really? That's all you got, huh? And wait till you hear about this guy. He is a convicted art con. He was selling phony Monets and classic paintings, and she was having an affair. See, this is why it's gaining national attention. Because if it weren't for the affair and the fact that the guy was a grifter and that the story is so ridiculously absurd, no one would pay attention to this trial. But she did have a thing. Did we get the? Did I give you that? Yeah. Did we get we got the boyfriend, right? William Fostow or whatever is however you pronounce that. Yeah, the boyfriend, the man she was having an affair with, testified in the trial. So we'll unpack that a little bit. And I've got some sad news. Eldon Campbell, former Los Angeles Laker, Morningside High School graduate out of Inglewood High School, who I've known since he was 17 years old, passed away at the age of 57. No, this isn't another one of Ralph Bailey's reading something that's a couple of days old, because I know it's a week old. But the new news is that redundant? That is redundant. New news. They have a cause of death. He drowned on a fishing trip in Florida, and a really nice kid. I did Continental Cablevision basketball and football for Morningside and Inglewood High School when I was in LA, living in Inglewood, and got to know him fairly well. He was clearly going to be a force at Clemson when he was at Morningside. And when he got drafted by the Lakers, kind of like Byron Scott, another Morningside High School graduate who grew up in Inglewood, got to play for the Lakers in Inglewood. Eldon did. And he was a decent pro. He wasn't a very disciplined kid. I don't mean to speak ill of the dead, but had a bit of a drinking problem, a little bit. He'd come by during the football games, and we'd interview him at halftime when he'd come visit, and showing up at your alma mater smelling like booze, and there were talks at the Lakers. They had a little drinking problem, but he was a really nice kid. And how many kids do you know at 17 that not only make it on the collegiate level at Clemson? He was a star at Clemson, but gets to play for his home team basketball team, the Lakers of all teams. And it's just sad. He had 3 kids, a wife. And it's a weird story, because they're saying that he collapsed later after the near drowning. I don't think they fished his body out of the ocean. It's kind of a weird story. And a Delta flight heading for Seattle, coming out of LAX, had a bird strike. Do you see why I'm afraid of flying? Because anything could go wrong. Anything could go wrong. Just a simple bird strike out of LAX. Out of where most of us have flown out of. And LAX is fairly close to the marina, fairly close to the ocean. Just saying. How come there are never any bird strikes when they're landing? Have you noticed that? The bird strikes are always when they're taking off. You don't want to add anything to that, Mr.
No, I'm trying to really think in my head if there's been any that I can think of that have been on the landing side of it. But I think you're right. No, that's no.
I have
think about it.
never ever heard of one descending. I guess I don't know. There's got to
Maybe
be
at
some
that
logic.
point they can avoid them better.
I don't. I have no idea. There's got to be some logic to it. I just watched Sully a couple of weeks ago, as a matter of fact.
If any pilot can chime in and tighten us up, I would love the answer.
Feel
but-
free. Yeah. 842-5376, 842-KERN. But we begin on an educational tip. I hope most of you know, because you were with us yesterday. We spoke with the chancellor of the Kern Community College District, Stephen Bloomberg, after they unveiled their first mobile immersive classroom for STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It will travel amongst the 3 colleges that make up the Kern Community College District: Saracoso, not Sarasoso, as somebody on television said. Anyway, Saracoso, Porterville College, and BC. It starts at Porterville, and it is basically focusing on biology right now, but it's essentially virtual reality. And, you know, these kids put on the big masks and to be honest with you, I don't know how it works. I don't know what these kids see, but it is innovative education. It's bringing education to these kids out in Porterville and Saracoso, and certainly here at BC. And it is going to be transformational. Here is KCCD Chancellor Stephen Bloomberg.
The virtual reality experiences right now that we have as a part of Dreamscape's program is both biology and chemistry. And so what happens is biology follows along with a course that is essentially general biology. And instead of doing what are kind of called wet labs, where students might go in and do lab experiments, they perform their labs in virtual reality. And so biology with Walter Parks, it is set up like Jurassic Park. It's a movie about an alien zoo, and you as a student navigate this alien world. You perform observations of these creatures. You conduct experiments to see what might be happening with them. Virtual reality takes you inside their hearts, inside their blood vessels, where you can actually see the inner workings of, in this case, animals. But Ralph, the point is to immerse students in a way of learning that not only gives them excitement, but builds teamwork, builds empathy, builds companionship with your other students in trying to resolve challenges. So it's a completely different way to look at teaching using virtual reality.
So no more dissecting frogs in the lab. Remember that? Old people? Remember that? With the formaldehyde and the whole bit, and no more of that. And this is what I envy about or admire about Kern Community College District, and why I've been involved with them so closely, is because they are looking at it differently. They're thinking outside the box. They're trying to come up with innovative ways to stimulate and educate young people. And, you know, like I said, the days of the lab and sitting there dissecting a stinky old frog are over. Here's more from the chancellor.
A lot of our students that are in college now are what's called Gen Z, as you know. And Gen Z is a truly digital generation. And so as strange as it may sound to you and I, who, you know, we're accustomed to carrying around books in our backpack and doing all of that, you know, Gen Z is used to obtaining and digesting, if you will, information on a digital platform. And so it fits in with the learning styles of today's students. And not that we can't discount learning styles of older students, but you're right. 18 to 24-year-old college demographic, this is the way that they've learned. This is the way that they've consumed information. And to try to go back and say, you're going to start reading chapter books probably isn't going to be the most successful thing.
No, not at all. That's 20th century thinking. And as much as I love and adore the 20th century in terms of education and technology and medication and medicine and all these fields, we've got to step it up. We've got to figure out a better way to educate our children, because we are failing them. And if you remember earlier in the week, we had Nicole Alvarez on talking about the College Discovery Academy, which is going to bring 4th through 8th graders onto the BC campus for an experience that will expose them to industrial automation, which BC has a 4-year degree in, healthcare careers, and agriculture. And it's just, again, another way to attack education. Bringing these kids in and turning them on to the college experience. Think about if we, at our age, back in the 20th century, had been exposed to, if I could have gone up to UCLA when I was in 8th grade or 9th grade, you know, and just been exposed to the campuses. And that's what this is all about. And the College Discovery Academy is just part of what they're doing. They've also got the dual immersion program where kids in high school are getting credits and can actually gain a degree, a junior college degree, a 2-year degree while they're in high school, literally. So you can be 18 years old and halfway through with college, which obviously cuts down on cost. And now you're 20, 21 years old and you're getting out of college as opposed to 23, 24, burdened with hella loans. One final comment from the chancellor.
Roll onto campus at Porterville College in mid-January 2026. So it'll spend some time there, transition to our other two institutions. Again, just to start to develop a culture of understanding about the capability that we have. It's a technology that I think has been long awaited as an instructional tool. And Ralph, I don't think the timing could be better to really roll this out on a very big scale.
I agree. And it's kind of cool that they're starting out in Porterville. You would have assumed they would have started up here in the Northeast, but that is cool. They're going out to Porterville. Let's go ahead and take our first break of the day, get this thing started. When we come back, as we reported late yesterday, thanks to KGT 17, Miss Williams, our 2-time DUI offender inside of 3 months, will find her fate on the 12th of December, but we now know more about her first DUI arrest and why she has not been charged with bribery. I just can't understand, and we'll talk about that Tuesday, obviously, with our former federal magistrate judge, Teresa Golder. But I'll explain how she tried to bribe a Bakersfield police officer when we come back. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Friday. Rick Bentley at the bottom of the hour, Brandon Lang at 4 o'clock, and Dodgers historian Mark Langell at 4:30. Right here on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN, where we stream live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. It's the JR Show.
So it looks like Prop 50 is going to pass. That's fine. I respect the process. I might not agree with the outcome, but I at least respect the process. The problem is Democrats still have to win elections next year. They couldn't flip Valadeo's seat, and that district has been Democrat for a long time. So this isn't over. They might have won Prop 50, but they still need voter turnout, which is a problem for them, and they still need to win congressional races.
The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
The annual enrollment period for Medicare is here. That means that it is time for you to select your Medicare plan for 2026. This annual enrollment period, choose a name you already trust. Select Kern Family Healthcare Medicare, D-SNP, a new option for people who have both Medicare and Medi-Cal. For over 29 years, Kern Family Healthcare has been a trusted name in Medi-Cal. Now, we're here to support your Medicare journey too. Call 1-866-661-3767. Again, that's 1-866-661-3767. Or visit www.kernfamilyhealthcare.com/Medicare to learn more and enroll. Start your Medicare journey with local care you trust. Choose Kern Family Healthcare. Kern Family Healthcare Medicare is an HMO D-SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the California Medicaid program. Enrollment in Kern Family Healthcare Medicare HMO D-SNP depends on contract renewal.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Joe?
I started a woodworking business. I was able to build beautiful furniture, but had no handle on the business side of things, so quickly fell behind in my taxes. 1 year of being behind in taxes quickly turned into 5 years. I ended up owing almost $37,000.
Then Joe found Tax Relief Advocates.
I would hear ads for tax relief advocates, One day it just clicked. This is my exact situation that I'm in. So I wrote down the number and called from the car when I got home that day. TRA saved me 99% of what I owed the IRS, and that brought a huge sense of relief.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Joe did and call TRA for a consultation.
I'm really happy that I made that call, and I finally felt like I could breathe again.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-484-4743. 800-484-4743. That's 800-484-4743.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at radiodirect.com/privacy. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Text help for help. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
You've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications that are all over the news, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie, and if you qualify, you can get medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1s at 80 to 90% savings without insurance.
Hey.
All 100% online.
Wait, I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No long wait at the doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide and tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, for 80 to 90% less and shipped direct to your door.
Amazing. How do I get started?
Just send them a text.
Text SLIM to 797979 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic for 80 to 90% less, 100% online. Don't wait. Text SLIM to 797979 right now for your exclusive offer. Text SLIM to 797979. That's SLIM to 797979.
These statements and products have not been evaluated.
Madison,
thank you.
Show weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
Is that Erykah Badu? Check you out.
I play Erykah on the show all the time.
No.
I played On and On literally yesterday.
Yeah? I wouldn't pay attention. I love Erykah Badu. Little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Have you ever seen the naked thing she did at the site of the Kennedy assassination?
I think you told me this before, but I don't think
She
I
went to Dallas and did a video because apparently in Dealey Plaza, is it Dealey Plaza or Dealey Square? Dealey Plaza, where the motorcade went and where the president was shot, November 22nd, 1963. There is a mark, so you can see exactly where the car was when he was shot. And she went down to Dallas and did a naked video at the spot. And Dallas residents weren't too pleased. Let's just put it that way. Because, it's a huge tourist site, obviously. Something I have never done that I have hoped to do. I've been to Dallas, but I've never been to the spot, which you would think I would have. I am told, Mike Trahey told me this. He went there and visited and said it is so much like everything, just like when we go into the House of Representatives and you look around and it's so much smaller than you think it is, or like Burbank Studios. I've been in where Johnny Carson used to do his show. It is tiny and it looks gargantuan on television. And Trahey told me that, yeah, it looks, you when you see how close the book depository building is, the single gunman theory strengthens because it's so close and so tight. But of course, I still don't believe that. Madison Williams is waiting to be sentenced. This princess believes she's going to get some kind of probation. And if she does, we are going to go on a campaign. I don't know if I'm the fella to lead that campaign against DUIs, but nevertheless, we are going to bang the cage and talk about the judge who gives this woman anything but jail time. She got 2 DUIs in a matter of months, literally 3 or 4 months. She tried to bribe the police officer in the initial DUI. In the second one, she put her car in a house that got caught on fire and destroyed the home and injured 2 children and one of the residents. And she blew a 0.19, and she got a very good attorney. And they're questioning the fact that she had her blood drawn hours after the incident. And somehow that mitigates her DUI, I suppose. But she was convicted. And now on the 12th, she's going to find out her fate. but we're just finding out some of the things that were said because it's now in the courts, and 17 likes to look up stuff like that, where she told the cops she owned he asked her, what does she do for a living? She said, I own half of Bakersfield. She tried to give him a $600 tennis bracelet. She offered him 15 grand to make this thing go away. Again, the most outstanding thing that pops out is how the hell wasn't she charged with that? How is she not going to jail? So you can bribe a cop? Really? I didn't know that. And she made allusions to her race. She said, thank God I'm white, and I'm not going anywhere because I'm white, and I'm so beautiful that I know I'm a brat and all this nonsense. If this judge doesn't throw the book at this woman, I'm telling you, I'm gonna talk about this judge every single day. Every single day. We're gonna start the show by suggesting that you call this judge and tell them that they've lost their ever-loving mind. And I pray to God it's not somebody I know, because we have, like, I think 3 judges that listen to the broadcast, but it couldn't be either one of those 3 men because they're really, really good judges. What would I do if it's him or him? You know what I'm talking about?
I know at least 2.
I was going to say, you know at least 2. I don't know if you know the third, but I just saw one of them officiating Robbie's wedding.
Yeah.
And the other one texts me during the show quite often. I'm praying it's not one of those things. There's no way. There's no way.
I feel like you would have heard about it if it was.
Yeah.
Not from them, but you know what I mean? Someone would have told you, oh, by the way, this person's the judge.
There's no way. Is there? Please, God, don't make me have to campaign against somebody. We'll just pretend the story doesn't exist Monday when's the 12th? What's today?
It says the 5th, so it'll be a week from today. No, a week from yesterday. I'm sorry.
A week from Thursday. And Pearl Harbor Day is this weekend. I forgot about that. 6th, 7th. And kudos to all of you, and I do mean all of you, because my street was packed with cars. In fact, people were parking in the smog shop across the street from my house. Yeah, that's why I live. I don't care. I got a gate and a gun. I don't care. But how y'all weathered the cold last night, you are better people than I. And the fact that you walked all the way from my house downtown in this cold, but it was nice. I watched a lot of it. Seemed like it was a lot of fun. Quick time out. The man from 17 is here. Rick Bentley joins us next.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What's really going on? McFarland Cougar.
With us on the news, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The Supreme Court has agreed to take up the constitutionality of President Trump's order on birthright citizenship. The president's order says children born to parents who are in the United States illegally or temporarily aren't American citizens. The justices said Friday they'll hear Trump's appeal of a lower court ruling that struck down the citizenship restrictions. A federal judge has given the Justice Department permission to release transcripts of a grand jury investigation into Jeffrey Epstein's abuse of underage girls in Florida. The case ultimately ended without any federal charges being filed against the millionaire sex offender. U.S. District Judge Rodney Smith said Friday that a recently passed federal law ordering the release of records related to the cases overrode the usual rules. More at SLNnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Chris Davis. She shot a cop. He shot her back. And now 17-year-old Annette Garcia will spend 5 years at a juvenile facility. That incident happened April 21st at Corwin Street and Lime Road. Officer Michael Kalakios was found to be within his legal right to shoot back. Back on May 7th, Fidel Havana Vargas was going 60 miles per hour when he slammed into a van at the intersection of Wallace Road and Cecil Avenue.
my
His
God.
passenger was killed in the wreck, and he tried to sell the cops that he was looking at his phone, and that's what caused it. When they gave him a blood test, they found he was above the legal limit, and he admitted to having had 18 beers the day before and said he did a little meth, too. Now Vargas will do 4 years in prison. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with the news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
And we're back. Another commercial for California Fruit Depot.
Cal Fruit Depot.
First, it needs to be said that a lot of listeners are complaining that you're not pulling your own weight on these commercials.
Wait, this is a 1 minute podcast. I'll lead with that. Now back to you.
If you're wearing a jacket and you're hearing this commercial, come on out to California Fruit Depot. Come on out and see us.
Not Christmas.
Oranges.
It's a jacket special.
Dates, shakes, smoothies, all those things. They're available.
What
Come
else
on,
do
you
you
can
have out
ship them to family and friends all over the country.
Shipping available.
Another thing I like to talk about is getting a jingle.
please.
We need a jingle.
We do need it.
All musicians, bands. Hey, if you got AI capabilities, send us
Yeah.
So choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th. So go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage California can count on.
Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, we'll know who the world champion of the world is in Formula One. We'll find out how much I won football picks by. We'll have state-of-the-art news, traffic, and weather, and talk jobs with America's Job Center. All that is happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and streaming live on a worldwide web at kernradio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The Armstrong and Getty Show. Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
I'm walking on sunshine. I'm walking on sunshine.
And don't it feel good? It does feel good. It's a Friday. And KGT Entertainment reporter Rick Bentley is live in studio after raising $200 ringing bells in front of Holly Lobby. That is impressive, sir.
Well, you know, you just
that really is.
You know what?
200 balls.
It's impressive for this city.
It is.
In a time when
this
we
community.
are struggling with the economy.
Yeah.
And if people are begging, so step up in 2 hours.
That's
and gave
incredible.
$200. That says so much about this town.
That means like
Yeah.
one
And
out
all
of
all I'm doing is standing and ringing the bell. So
That
I
means-
can't say it's me.
Yeah.
It's the people in this town.
It's amazing.
I
what
would
these
defend them
people
to
do.
my death. They
Yeah.
are they are a great group of people.
I don't understand why the city doesn't adopt our giving spirit as part of our logo or as part of our motto or use that as who we are, because we're the most magnanimous giving community. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's Honor Flight, Relay for Life, the Salvation Army, Red Cross. These people, we are our brother's keeper in this community.
Yeah, and again, when I moved away for years because of a better job, but when it was time to sort of figure out where I was going to end, my retirement at, this was the first place I thought about moving back to.
Yeah.
And it's because of the people.
It is. It is.
And I've often said this. I grew up in the South, and I love Southern people. I think they're some of the greatest people on this planet.
They are.
And,
Hey there. Say hi to your mama.
And I always feel like this is a little bit of the South, like because of the Okies and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I really feel like that Southern spirit is in this town. So
Yeah.
again, but yeah, it was amazing for that.
Congratulations.
No,
That was
it's
gargantuan.
congratulations to the city.
Yeah. What do you want to do? You want to
Oh,
talk?
well,
I
let's-
got some things I want to talk about. Do you
Well,
want
let's
to
jump. Let's get this out of the way
our
because
visitor here first.
this is the last time the visitor will be here this year.
That's true.
And so we need to take we need to take advantage of that. Oh, great Kernak.
Kernak,
the
magnificent.
Welcome.
What do you have for me today?
I have it's a holiday themed Kernak.
Oh, as
Well,
Jackie Gleason used to say, this ought to be rich.
This ought to be rich. Simply because you won't be back till next year. We won't see you for Christmas.
That's true.
Kernak.
That's true.
So, these questions have been in a mayonnaise jar on the front steps of Funky Wagnall's home for the last week. Actually, it's been multiple weeks since I haven't been on in a while.
Yes.
And I thought you got rid of me, but I'm glad to be back.
We're happy to
You
have
probably only brought me back for this, and then next week I'll be gone again. So,
Yes.
but anyway, in our holiday spirit, Kernak, we'd like you to ascertain the questions, the answers to the questions before you even read the question.
Yes.
We got it right that time.
Yes.
So,
a little rehearsal is needed.
you know, we should. We should.
Beyond that.
Well, we should stop drinking just before we
Yes,
start, too.
that's
also.
true. That's true.
Anyway, Kernak,
Yes.
here is the first one.
Mistletoe.
Mistletoe.
Yes, that's what I said. The biggest problem with the bid is me getting the damn thing out of the envelope. That is the biggest problem.
It's like we should hire an assistant to open the envelope
exactly.
for you.
What is the main injury among astronauts?
Mistletoe.
That was pretty good. That was pretty
Happy
good.
holidays, Kernak.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Kernak the Magnificent, number 2.
A Grinch.
A Grinch.
That's what I said. What do you use to loosen a girlt?
You would use a Grinch. Oh, I know, Magnificent One. You're only just ascertaining the question.
That's
You're
all I
not
can
writing
do.
them.
That's all I can do.
That's
all I can do.
Kernak the Magnificent?
Yes.
Here's number 3.
Letter number 3. Prancer, Dancer, and Vixen.
Prancer, Dancer, and Vixen.
That's correct. That's right. What are names of the same of the performers for the Drag Queen Christmas show coming to the Fox Theater? And if I could read, that would have been funny. But that was pretty good.
Kernak should have never skipped the 4th grade, should they?
No. Bad SAT scores.
That's right. Kernak, here's the very next one.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
That is correct. This question has been censored.
I think you were wise because
Yes,
of FCC rulings.
regulations, that is
We should
correct.
not use that question. Kernak the Magnificent, here's the next one.
Hot cider.
Hot cider.
Yeah, I think that's what I said. What is the name of Ralph Bailey's favorite stripper? Hot cider. She's gotten a little old these days, but yes,
That's
she is
right.
my favorite.
That's right.
correct.
Yeah, she needs a little bit more of a cinnamon stick at these times.
Yes.
And finally, our last question. I believe they've turned on us.
May your sister be a favorite of Los Angeles Rams.
You? No.
Oh,
her.
I didn't read the. Did I read that? I'm sorry. I've got to read. Got to read the card.
We gotta have some rehearsals.
A Peanuts Christmas.
A Peanuts Christmas.
All right, whatever. How do you describe my holiday bonus? Ain't that the
These are
truth?
peanuts Christmas.
That is correct.
Oh,
very good.
magnificent company.
Kodak,
Once
the
again,
magnificent.
you have amazed us.
Nicely done, sir. That is very well done. Thank you.
In the holiday spirit.
Yes, that was pretty funny. That hurt my head.
Okay, well, yeah.
On to the business of business.
Yes.
The big story in Hollywood, I suppose.
Netflix.
Netflix purchasing Warner Brothers for a cool $72 billion.
I think this is horrible.
Is it?
Well, it's, we've gone through these periods of time where we've been worried about monopolizing.
Right.
Okay. So we're in an era where streaming is taking over. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
The more we blend of these streaming services, because odds are when Netflix takes over Warner Brothers Discovery, they probably will do away with HBO Max.
Really?
Well, why have another streaming service when you can just put it all on your Netflix? That becomes your mothership.
Oh, I forgot HBO's under the umbrella of
Yeah, that's under the
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And so now, as we begin to lose these sort of streaming services, and we get fewer and fewer, what's going to stop Netflix? Because they got to make up $89 billion or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
they're going to up the price big
They're
time.
going to up the big
time.
And we have no control over that. So if Netflix said tomorrow says, Ralph, we're now going to charge you $400 a month for Netflix, you're going to go, well, I guess I'll stop. I mean, or I'll pay it because I only have that and Paramount Plus and Disney, because Disney's already, it's eat up ESPN and Hulu. So they've already pulled those all together. I just feel like this is one of those situations where we're on a slippery slope.
Yeah.
And we get one more of these big mergers, and we're going to get down to maybe 2 or 3 mega streaming services, and the prices are going to go up, and it's going to hurt. I mean, we keep talking about trying to bring prices down, but I think this is going to drive prices way up.
That's too bad.
I think it's horrible.
It really is.
And,
And you know what is even worse? That the sports world is now getting into streaming. Last night's game was on prime time. You couldn't see it if you didn't have prime time.
Yeah, and we got Christmas Day. We got 2 or 3 games that's going to be on streaming service.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
I've been making this prediction for years. It's getting closer and closer to coming that we're going to get a day when the NFL will only be on a streaming service.
Yeah, and we'll have to pay for the Super Bowl.
We will pay $500 to watch the Super Bowl.
Isn't that crazy?
And the argument will be, well, maybe you can't afford $500, but you're going to bring 10 friends in.
Right.
Each of you can chip in $50.
Because even if they just charged $10 a household for the Super Bowl, that's crazy money.
Oh, it is.
And it's just lying there.
Yeah.
And they're not going to just let it sit.
No, they won't. It won't ever be $10. $10 may be for the, some Panthers Colts game or something during the season. But as we get to the playoffs, if it's on streaming, those are going to be high price. It'll just they'll just tear it right up until you get to the Super Bowl, and it will be a staggering price.
Yeah. You think the networks allow that?
Well,
or are the networks in cahoots, actually?
Look, the networks are struggling. We know that because their programming is down. I mean, look at what NBC now has to fill a night with NBA basketball. I mean, they have so little programming to fill out a full slate.
And those ratings are despicable.
Well, I'm not a big fan of the NBA. Unless it's maybe the finals, I'll tune in to see who won.
Yeah.
I like college basketball. I will watch that all the time. But yeah, NBA to me has never been one of those, oh, yes, we have to do it.
Yeah, the players have ruined the NBA.
Yeah.
They really have.
Yeah,
with this, what do they call it, Chris? Downloading, uploading.
Load management.
Thank you. This load management nonsense, like Luka's not playing tonight against the Celtics.
Yeah.
And it's just, they're putting in parentheses, personal. I don't know whether you had a death in the family or whatever, but these guys, back in the day when I was growing up in the 80s, Magic and Michael and Larry all played 80, 82, 78 games a year.
Yeah.
Because they knew when we come to town, Rick Bentley has spent such amount of money to see us play. And if I'm not there, that's the only time I come to Cleveland. It's the only time I
exactly.
come to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And it's just, they've ruined it.
Yeah, those guys during that time literally had to have a bone sticking out of their leg
Exactly.
for them not to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're going to. But so the networks are going to have to get into a bidding war for the rights to the NFL.
That's going to kill us.
And you can look right now. I mean, the Netflix deal for Warner Brothers is a perfect example. $89 billion just for the Warner Brothers catalog, and you're getting the studio and you're getting all their films. It's a great package, but if they can spend out $89 billion for that, their bid on the NFL will be whatever it takes to get it.
Yeah,
and so we may see one of these events. It'll flip. What will happen is everything will be on the streaming service, but this weekend, one game only is a specialty, on NBC, or it will go there rather than just having one or two on streaming. It'll be one or two near on networks, and it will probably. I would bet within 5 to 7 years that's where we'll be.
I think so too. I can't believe though the networks would allow this. They're going to lose a ton of ad revenue.
It comes down to money.
Yeah.
If you do not have money, how do you bid again? And the great thing that Netflix has going for it, the networks have to depend on ad revenue.
Right.
If the ads that people are buying on their shows see an uptick in, then the consumers buying it. You have that sort of convoluted way of getting to it, or being on a cable service. The rights to show that. Netflix every month gets your money.
Yeah.
Whether they watch you or not. So all they have to do is have a subscriber. They've got permanent money coming in.
Yeah, I hardly watch Netflix, and I have it. I pay for it, and I just bought Paramount to watch The Landman.
The Landman.
And I've seen 2 episodes in 3 weeks that I've had it.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, with the networks, because when they were free, we may only watch one ABC show a week.
Yeah.
Or 2 NBC or 5 CW, whatever. But that was free.
Yeah.
So you didn't feel bad, like, oh, I didn't watch any ABC this week. If you're paying that big, and the funny thing is, we've talked about how streaming was sort of helping get away from cut the cable and how expensive cable is. And cable is still expensive.
Yes, it is.
Don't get me wrong.
Yes, it is.
But when you start saying, okay, now I'm buying Netflix. Oh, I got to get Paramount Plus. I want to see that. I need Disney Plus because I do want Hulu. I want that too. You suddenly have put together a package that's now comparable to what cable was doing to you.
If not better.
If
not better, certainly more options.
Exactly.
Viewing wise.
And what I do is I don't pay for cable. What I do is I have an antenna on my television set. We can pick up 68 local channels. Okay, so I can see CBS, NBC. I can see all the networks, PBS, lots and lots of programming. And then I subscribe to 2 or 3 services, and that gives me everything and anything I want to watch.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
And it's cheaper, because I hold it down to probably 4 services.
Yeah.
I have Paramount, I have HBO Max, I have Disney, and I have Netflix. So that combination is not nearly expensive as what a cable package would be.
You're not a Hulu guy? I thought you'd be a Hulu guy.
It's part of the Disney package.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. Rick Bentley is our guest, as those of you who are subscribing on YouTube can see. I saw you talking to Al Roker this morning.
Al is one of the best interviews I've ever done.
Yeah?
He was just great. Of course, it wasn't his first rodeo. Al's
Of course,
done this.
he's a vet from way back.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a new PBS series starting next week, and we talked about that. It's so funny. It's the Weather Hunters. It's an animated series about a family who travels the globe looking at weather phenomena. So it's obviously right down. And the dad of the group is Al, and he does the voice of it. And so, yeah, he was nice enough to do a Zoom interview with me, and we talked about that. So
seems like a really nice guy.
He's just a really, really. I always the best interviews to me are the down to earth guys.
Yeah.
You don't feel any sort of why am I talking to you?
Yeah.
I'm better than you. He's just Al.
And I judge people, unfortunately, by whom they marry.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's very telling.
Uh-huh.
And he bagged Deborah Roberts, who was a great. I don't grow up. She's not that much older than I am, but
yeah.
I remember her as a young man, as a great ABC reporter, and I don't know how they met, but they've been married for a hell of a long time.
Yeah.
And she married him when he was a big tub. Let's be blunt.
Yeah.
He was heavy when they got married.
Yeah.
But he's lost a lot of weight and looks good as he gets older.
Yeah.
But is a legend. Who thought that he could replace? Don't tell me. Oh, I'm forgetting his name. The bald-headed guy who would say good morning to all the 100-year-old people.
Yeah.
I totally forgot his name.
Both of us have.
So there we go. So
That's how
who
fickle
knew
the
they would
world is.
forget?
Yeah.
We did
Yeah.
forget.
Was it Smuckers? No, that was who.
That was
who
the
paid for
sponsor.
this.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
It'll come to me.
I can't remember.
It'll come to me. It'll come to me.
We're asking you to look up the first weather guy, the bald-headed weather guy on the Today Show, who preceded Al
Because
Roker.
when he says it, we'll go. Oh,
Of course.
of course.
And
Willard Scott.
Willard Scott.
Yes.
And people are screaming at their radio in their cars.
Yeah.
You two dummies. Willard Scott. Come on.
They describe him as an entertainment expert, and he can't remember Willard Scott.
Yeah. Anything else going on before you get out of here?
Well, certainly I could run through. We haven't talked about a lot of movies opening. I do have a question for you. I want to ask you
Yes.
something. I'm going to ask you. There's a new movie out called Eternity that I'm really pushing. It's a great date movie. Great date movie.
All right.
Elizabeth Olsen, Miles Teller.
Like him?
I hate him, but he's great in this movie.
Really?
He's just anyway.
Oh, you met him personally?
Yeah, he's not one of my favorite interviews. Let's
All
just
right.
put it that way.
Very good.
But basically, the story is it's an old man. He dies. He ends up at a way station, and they say, "Look, you have a week to pick which eternity you want to live in for the rest, for the rest of your eternity." There's like the sunshine where you're always at the beach. You can go to museums for eternity. You can play basketball for eternity. You can have your pick of eternities. Well, he says, my wife was dying when I died. I'm going to wait for her, and we'll pick one together. He waits. She shows up. He thinks, great, we're going to go pick our eternity. And another gentleman walks up. He's her first husband. They were married years ago, and he died in the war. He's waited 67 years for her to arrive at the way station so they can pick their eternity together.
So there's drama in heaven?
There's drama. So
is that what you're telling me?
It's a heavenly Sophie's Choice. I mean, who do you go with, your first love, or do you go with your forever love? I mean, what do you pick? So the question I have for you though is,
okay,
if you had your opportunity to pick your final eternity,
not even close.
Is it Dodger Stadium?
Ooh, that's okay. It is close.
Okay.
But no, it'd be playing golf for the rest of my eternity.
You sure?
It's not even close.
It's funny because in the movie, there's a guy who picked going to museums. And once you pick an eternity, you can't switch. And he tries to escape all through the movie because I can't look at one more painting. I'm done. No, sorry.
No,
Yeah.
I could do it.
Okay.
I am such a golf freak. I love every portion of the golf experience. I love getting dressed for golf.
Wow.
I swear.
You have those little
I have a
knickers like
routine.
they played in.
No, but I have the little tiny socks that
Okay.
I have to find because I'm a slob, and I love putting on the shoes, and I love getting dressed because I play at a country club, so you have to look, you have to look like you belong. And I love hitting. I don't love hitting balls, but I love getting ready, just trying to warm up, and whether that's going to transcend, and then every hole is different, even though it's the same hole, and even though I put the ball in just about the same place, just about every time on the different holes.
So
every day is different.
Eternity of frustration
Yes,
is what you're looking for.
Absolutely.
Okay, I get
The whole experience, the cocktails afterwards, going to lunch with Mike Turnipseed afterwards. I adore the whole process.
And obviously, mine would be movies.
Would it really?
Yeah, I
just
watch
constantly watching movies?
It's funny. I lost my wife a few years ago, and I was talking to somebody about this movie, and they said, "Well, where do you think you and your wife would go for you?" I said, "Well, she's already picked. She didn't wait on me. She got to this way stage. She said, 'Where's John Lennon?' And boom, that's where she went." And it's like, okay, I'll give her that.
Yeah, that's funny. When did you become a movie freak? When did you know that you wanted to do this for a living?
When I was in elementary school, we lived close enough I could walk. Well, I'll tell you, it's even further than that. When I was 6 years old, I can remember to this day, my mother coming into a theater to find me, because I had gone to the movie theater that morning to see, I can't remember what it was, and it was now dark. I
Yeah.
had stayed all day, and she had to come to the theater to get me.
That's what we would do.
And I thought, I could look back and think, that must have been my moment.
Yeah.
And because ever from then, anytime every weekend I would go see a movie.
I was just about to say that you stole my line. Every Saturday, we would ride our bikes to the Marina Del Rey. It was about a 45-minute, maybe an hour ride from where I lived, about a 10-minute drive.
Yep.
And we would stay the day.
Yeah.
We would stay the day. We would jump movies. If you had one ticket, you could get in. There were no ushers back in those days. And we would see one film. And back in those days, we would see double features.
Well, see, that was for me because I would go to the Roxy in Clarksville, Tennessee. It was close enough I could walk there. But there was only one screen.
Wow.
So basically, we would see a newsreel, a cartoon, a short, 2 films.
Yeah.
And then if you felt like it, you saw a newsreel. You stayed and saw the same thing. They never ran you out.
Yeah.
And it was a quarter or something. I mean, and it was for parents. It was like, well, I'm doing a book on the Fox Theater, and every parent talks about that was the greatest babysitter when their kid, years and years ago.
Sure.
You'd bring your kid, you drop them in there, you give them enough money for popcorn and soda, which is probably $1 total. And
you might be a little older than me.
Yeah, well, whatever it was, it was. They could leave them there for 3 or 4 hours, go off and do all, and not have to worry about them.
Yeah.
Today you can't do that, but
the perfect setup in the Marina. There was the UA theaters, okay, and then right next to that was, and this is like the late 70s, there was an arcade, which just basically had Pong and
pinball
and yeah, basically. And then there was a Swenson's next to that, which if they don't have Swenson's up here,
that might be my heaven.
yeah, but ice cream joint, and we would we'd get there at noon, watch the noon, the 2, the 4, go to Swenson's, play a little arcade, and home before the streetlights came home.
Yeah, it was it was a magical day.
It really was.
Did. You
and
really
we did
felt-
it every Saturday.
And the great
if we
thing
weren't
was
playing sports.
you were out.
Yeah,
you were socializing.
Oh,
you weren't sitting at home talking to somebody on a headset or something. No, you and your buddies were doing stuff together.
I've got some audio that I might play today. We're going to do some miscellaneous audio later on, but I've got some audio of someone in our generation breaking that down.
Yeah.
We didn't go in the house.
No.
We stayed outside. We didn't, and she's right, because if you came in the house in the 70s, at least Harriet would find something for you to do.
Exactly.
And you didn't want to be mopping the floors at 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have a wonderful weekend, sir.
You too.
Kernak the Magnificent was outstanding.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate the effort.
Well, he'll be back come the beginning of next year.
Beginning of next year. Rick Bentley, everybody. KGT Entertainment Reporter. We headed into 4. We're off to New York City. Brandon Lang's up first. And then it's off to South Pasadena. Dodger historian Mark Langell at the bottom of the hour. That was great. That was really good.
This is AM 1180 KERN. Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM.
I don't know why.
Bakersfield.
I got to normally start doing this. Taking my time and read it
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The U.S. Supreme Court will decide the fate of Donald Trump's birthright citizenship order.
Trump's order says that children born to parents who are in the U.S. illegally or temporarily are not considered American citizens. The justices will hear Trump's appeal of a lower court ruling that struck down those citizenship restrictions. Birthright citizenship is the first Trump immigration-related policy to reach the Supreme Court for a final ruling. The case will be argued before the Supreme Court in the spring, with a definitive ruling expected by early summer. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
To give a baby a shot or not, there's a revised recommendation for the parents of newborns.
A federal vaccine advisory committee is abandoning its long-standing advice that all babies get hepatitis B shots at birth. For decades, the government advised all infants be vaccinated against the liver infection right after birth. Now the committee recommends the birth dose only for babies whose mothers test positive. For others, it will be up to the parents and their doctors to decide if a birth dose is appropriate.
He's funny.
Rich Thomason, Washington.
A federal judge has given the Justice Department permission to release transcripts of a grand jury investigation into Jeffrey Epstein's abuse of underage girls in Florida. The case ultimately ended without any federal charges being filed against the millionaire sex offender. U.S. District Judge Rodney Smith said Friday that a recently passed federal law ordering the release of records related to the cases overrode the usual rules about grand jury secrecy. When the documents will be released is unknown. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 104 points, the Nasdaq rose 73, the S&P advanced 13. More at townhall.com.
Everyone is watching major movements ripple through the markets these days, sparked by new policy shifts out of Washington and activity from the Federal Reserve. Americans have faced uncertainty before, and every time, we've found our footing again. The real secret to long-term financial peace is simple. Keep your eyes on the horizon and understand the fundamentals that drive real stability. That's exactly why Advantage Gold is inviting you to call 800-741-GOLD right now. We'll send you a free Gold IRA rollover kit, along with a complimentary copy of economist Ken Rogoff's insightful book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. Inside, you'll learn how to defend your retirement savings against inflation, market swings, and reckless fiscal policies, with tangible assets like precious metals that have preserved wealth for centuries. It's no wonder Advantage Gold has been America's #1 gold company for the past decade. Take a smart step toward protecting what you've earned. Call 800-741-GOLD. That's 800-741-4653. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-741-GOLD.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
He said he looked down at his phone and then the crash happened. I'm Chris Davis. What actually happened is that 36-year-old Fidel Havana Vargas had drank 18 beers the day before and had done some meth too, admitting that to cops, and was still under the influence. Now he will serve 4 years in prison because that crash, May 7th, at the intersection of Wallace Road and Cecil Avenue, killed his front seat passenger, 24-year-old Oliver Villalba. CHP says Vargas was going 60 when he hit a van, and everybody involved in the wreck had some kind of injury. A police dog named Liam helped sniff out 51 pounds of meth last night in Bakersfield, say police. That happened when an officer pulled over 34-year-old Jorge Alonso on Ming Avenue about 7:30. Liam's nose for news told the officer something was up. During a search of the vehicle, the meth was found hidden with a pound each in each of the bags that were found in the cargo area.
The city came down.
The first victim in the shootings that happened April 21st at Corwin Street and Lime Avenue was a van. The second victim was a cop who got out of his car to see what was going on. He was immediately shot by 17-year-old Annette Garcia. Officer Michael Calacchio shot back, hitting her in the hip. Now Garcia has been sentenced to serve 5 years in a juvenile facility. She told investigators she believed the police were trying to kill her family. They found no evidence of that.
That's why
Toys for Tots Bakersfield chapter is having a tough time getting the donations they need for the year. In fact, they've only gotten about a third so far of the 46,000 toys they handed out last year. They know the times are tough, but they are making an appeal asking if you can donate a toy for the kids and maybe things like shoes, clothes, perfume, and shaving kits for the teenagers. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think? This is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You got to get up close like this. Bada bing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Friday, 5th day of December. Still lots to do. Coming up the bottom of the hour, Dodger historian Mark Langell, live from Dodger Stadium. We'll talk about some of the trade rumors that are flying around involving the Dodgers. We need a left fielder badly. And there's talk that Teo Hernandez, our right fielder, who I'm literally a better right fielder than, I literally could play right field better than Teo Hernandez. I would go 0 for 500 at the plate, but I could play right field better than Teo Hernandez. He is on the trading block, I understand. In the last year of his, or does he have 2 years left on his contract?
I believe this will be his last year.
Yeah, I think it is.
Surprising if you have to pay him after this year.
Yeah. And what if he has a 35 home run season, and now we got to pay him a ton of money next year, and he's older, and I see, it's what who brought Jackie Robinson into baseball? It's what Mr. Rickey said. Always get rid of him a year early than a year late. It is a Friday. Time to head to New York City.
I'm leaving today. I
used to love this song,
part of it. New York,
but now it's completely associated with the damn Yankees, and it's my least favorite Sinatra tune. But it's time to talk to our good friend Brandon Lang. How are you, sir?
Two things. One, you can't play dead in the Western. So you and right field put a 10 on that circus. So let's just get that out the way right now.
Dude, I was a damn good athlete, son. What's the matter with you?
Brother, you city fellow. Brother, you city fellow, whatever you are. You're in the 60 over league, slow pitch softball.
True that.
Let me get a little bit. I'm going to go deep right now. Let me get a little single in the shortstop.
Yeah. Ooh, my hammy.
For my hammy. I plan a let me tell you a quick story. I go see this is a great story. This is a really great story. So I marry Ellen, and I have full health care through the VA, having served our country, but through my marriage with Ellen, I got United Healthcare, and she's like, "Babe, you might as well use it." I'm like, "Okay, I'll use it." So I go down to see the primary care doctor. You got to see him first before you can go anything. And so a little short guy with glasses, and he sits down in the chair, and I take my jacket off so he can do the blood pressure and all that. And I'm jacked. I mean, I'm jacked. You saw me. I'm for 62 years, I'm jacked. And he's slumped down in his chair, and he's looking at me. And the little nurse assistant walks out, and before he even says hello or whatever, he goes, "You play softball?" I go, "Yeah, I played." He goes, "How old are you?" I go, 62. He goes, "Okay." He goes, "You play softball?" I go, "I've played softball my whole life. It's one of the biggest sports in Midland, Michigan that you can get."
Yeah.
Terry Collins, the manager of the Astros and the Mets, I said he played fast pitch softball for McCardle Pontiac Cadillac in Midland, Michigan. They were one of the best fast pitch softball teams in the country. There's 30 diamonds in the Midland, Michigan area. I said, "It's huge." He goes, "Can you hit home runs?" I go, "Bro, I do is hit bombs." I go, "You want bombs? I'll get you bombs. I'll hit you bombs." He goes, "How many homers you hit me?" I go, "How far the fence is?" He goes, 290. I'll get you 15.
290?
I'll get you 15. I go, "I'll get you 15. And I go, "But can I ask you a question? Can we get to why I'm here? We can talk softball later, but I'd like to talk about why I'm here." So that was like December of last year. So April gets here. They have batting practice. I go down. I ain't hit a softball in probably 10 years. First one, I kind of foul it off. Second one, I kind of dribble it in front of the pitcher's mound, trying to get my depth perception. Next one, I hit a ground ball to third. And the next one, I kind of hit a line drive to left field. And the next one, it's still flying right now. And so I proceeded to hit the fences were 270 at this park. I proceeded to hit, I don't know, probably 10 in that batting practice round. And then I went back a second time and hit probably 14 out, just hitting bombs. So he's out of his mind. So I go to the next practice, and that's when I tore my ACL in my left knee. My right knee was already messed up, so I needed surgery. I didn't play a lick. I couldn't. I was basically rehabbing. Long story short, I go to his office to set up my yearly physical, and he goes, "Can you play this year?" I go, "Yeah, I'm going to hit you 20 homers. I'll be in the best shape of my life." I said, I'm going to get on the Jose Canseco juice plan. I said, I'm going to get probably twice as big as I am right now. I'll hit balls so far you've never seen them go so far. And he looks at me, he goes, "That's great." He goes, "Why are you here? What do you need?" I said, "Well, this is what I need." And I give him a list. He's like, "Okay, I'll call it in. How you feeling?" Need a little Xanax, Zoloft. What do you need? What do you need, kid? Just tell me what you need. And then Ellen needed a prescription, and they called down to his office, and they're like, we can't call it in. And she calls me like, "Can you believe this?" Like, "Give me a second." I text him. I said, "Listen, I need you to call in a script for Ellen. She needs this. She can't wait 2 weeks." He goes, "Give me a birth date." And, whatever. And I did, and he phoned it in immediately. So, bottom line, I can hit. I
Nice.
can hit. I always tell the story that Terry Collins, when he was in the Dodgers organization, would come back to Midland, Michigan, because my high school baseball coach is married to Terry's sister. So Terry's known me since I was 10. And my brother Bill, if you were to run into Terry Collins right now,
Yeah.
and people have done this, he would tell you, say, hey, I ran into an acquaintance of yours, Brandon Link. He would say, oh my God, that's one crazy son of a gun right there. But I'll tell you what, his brother Billy could hit a baseball. And Terry will go to his grave saying that when he came back in the Dodgers organization, he'd spend 2 weeks in the winter back with Frank and Connie. He'd take my brother Bill down to the gym and little 11-year-old Brandon down to the gym. And he'd hit us ground balls for an hour. Then he'd take it up to the jugs machine, pump it up to 90, and we'd take batting practice, me and my brother. And Terry, the last home game before he retired, my brother Bill passed away. And I went to the game at Citi Field, and the security guard wouldn't let me go down. And I'm like, listen to me, I know him. That's what everybody says. I said, do me a favor, walk down with me. When I yell to him, because he's at home plate, when I yell to him, he's going to see me, he's going to invite me down. If he does it, you can escort me out. The guy's like, fair enough. So I walk down, Terry gives a lineup card, he's walking back, and go, TC, and he turns, he sees me, and he waves me down. It does the rope, I go down, I sit in the dugout with him.
Nice.
And I go, I just want you to know, Billy passed away. And he goes, I know, Frank told me. And I said, yeah. And we just had a moment where we both teared up because he had such a fondness for my brother. And Terry looked at me and said, it's a shame because your brother should have been in the big leagues. That's how good my brother was at baseball.
Wow.
But due to the physical abuse of my father and the alcoholism of my father, he messed my brother up in the head because Billy was the first. And then the other three, Brian, Slane, and myself, we were the next three. My mom did her best to shield us, but Billy took the brunt of it. And it's sad. It really is because Bo Schembechler and Woody Hayes came to my high school.
Really?
The first thing they said, my brother played defensive end. He ran a 4.3 40 and played defensive end. And they said, we want the Link kid. And Frank Altimore said, he can't. He doesn't have the grades. And they just walked away.
Oh,
so sad story. But long story short, I didn't play baseball my senior year. I started as a junior, second base, hit 325, never struck out one time. But my senior year, after basketball season was over, I just lost the desire to play, and I didn't play my senior year. And that's probably the biggest regret athletically I have is not playing baseball my senior year. So long story short, your boy can rake. As Major League Baseball players say, you can rake. So it was funny hearing you say that. It's I love playing slow-pitch softball, but when you said I can play right field for the Dodgers, listen to me. We all think we can play right field for the Dodgers.
Well, I didn't mean now.
I know, but then you have athletic talent when you're young.
Yes.
And people now, you're on radio, and people know you just from radio. And I don't think people realize, I said this before, you have a very deep voice, which would lend itself to say that you are big, burly, have a little weight to you, have a little girth to you. I had never met you, never looked at you online, never had any idea what you look like.
Until I walked into the chapel.
I was like, huh? I had you for 6'3", 275. I mean, I didn't have this little point guard in the hood getting you 15 points and 12 assists.
That's me.
Like little Spoonie.
Henry Bibby. They called me Henry Bibby.
Unbelievable, man. So that was great. But you talk about again, I'm 62 and you're right there with me. But you think back when you're in high school and you could play and people are like, yeah, right. And you're like, okay, well, you just don't know.
Best part of my childhood was being an athlete.
Yep, absolutely.
And being fortunate enough to go to a small school where I could play everything. Because if I had gone to the public school in my district, I wouldn't have made the JV team. Literally. In any sport. But going to a small private school, I got to play everything and graduated thinking I was a pretty good athlete. I've told the story 1,000 times. My first day at Morehouse, my dad leaves me. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm just turned 18 years old. I don't know what to do. And I see a kid going down to the gym. And I say, you going down to the gym? It's my first day in Atlanta, my first day at Morehouse College. And he says, yeah, why don't you come with me? And I put on some clothes. He's about 5'9", 5'10". And I'm like, I'm going to school this kid. This kid from Macon, Georgia, was dunking on my ass at 5'10" and jumping by me. And I walked back to my dorm thinking, damn, I thought I was an athlete. I really did. This little 5'9", 5'10" kid just schooled me.
You grew up fast.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. What are you going to do? Yeah. All right. So we got some great games this weekend.
Oh, God. Great games.
Yeah. Excited.
We'll attack the NFL first.
All right.
I don't know how Jacksonville's getting points from the Colts. They beat them 11 in a row at Jacksonville Stadium. When Daniel Jones is regressing, my biggest bet of the year in the NFL was Houston plus the points over Indy. Indy has 2 wins over winning teams this year. They did have a nice win over the Chargers, and they beat Denver on kind of a bogus call on a field goal where they said the guy pushed the center or whatever, 29-28. Other than that, the other 6 wins have come against teams with a winning combined record of 17-58. I don't trust Daniel Jones on the road here. Give me Duval. I think they're plus 1.5, 2 right now.
Duval!
I think it's a great spot for Jacksonville to continue their dominance over Indy. I just think Daniel Jones isn't as good. I think he's regressed back to the Daniel Jones that we remember of the Giants. I think that...
And he's injured.
Yeah, Kansas City and Houston is a field goal game. I just get the feeling that you're going to want to have the points there, plus 3.5.
God, I hope Houston gets after it. Yeah, I hope they
I
get
know.
after it.
Listen, I want KC gone. I want Mahomes and his State Farm commercials, and I want him gone.
Dead.
I want him. You know, it's Robert De Niro in The Untouchables.
Yep.
When he says, "I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his," and so I want Mahomes.
That's exactly what I was quoting.
Picture just to squirm. So I'll take the 3.5. Last but not least, after watching them dominate Philly the way they did, I am all over the Bears plus the points. They're 4-0 straight up against the spread, coming off a road underdog win. They're 7-0 as a divisional road dog of more than 4 points against an opponent coming off a win of 7 or more. Ben Johnson, 7-0 straight up against the spread this year against opponents with a win percentage greater than 400. I just think that matchup-wise, this is a Green Bay team that has not played well at home. They lost to the Eagles 10-7. They lost to Carolina, I believe, 16-13. I think Chicago goes in there getting 7.5. I think they're the right side of the game. College football, some great games, really good games. Saturday.
By the way, let me interrupt. Did you see Ben Johnson's post-game speech?
Great.
Where he ripped off his shirt?
Great.
That was outstanding.
Great.
Really like that cat.
I think listen, you don't think that man knew what he was doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
He sat back and had every single job in the world, and he saw Chicago every year, twice a year for 4 years, and he said, you know what? I like this kid, Caleb Williams. I can work with him. I like his talent. That's where I'm going. That's what I'm picking. And for him to turn them around the way he has, unbelievable. Good for him. Saturday college football. I know everybody thinks BYU is the play here, but this is a Texas Tech team that boat raced them 39-7 first time this year. And this is a Texas Tech team that no one's really talking about. And what I mean by that is they lost at Arizona State with their backup quarterback. Other than that, I just want to read you these scores.
Okay.
Arkansas Pine Bluff 67-7, Kent 62-14. Oregon State at home 45-14.
Okay.
Went into Utah. By the way, Utah at home this year.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Beat Arizona State 42-10. Beat Colorado 53-7. Beat Cincinnati 45-14. Beat Kansas State 51-47. Okay?
All right.
Texas Tech went into Utah and beat them like a drum 34-10. Houston 35-11. Kansas at home 42-17. Oklahoma State 42-0. At Kansas State 43-20. BYU 29-7. UCF 48-9. West Virginia 49-0 on the road. No one's talking about this team.
Yeah.
No one's saying a word about this team. Their defense is filthy. They got guys all over the field. They went 10-2 against the spread. One of those is without their starting quarterback. I'm telling you. By the way, just a little B-Lang stat for you. In their last 21 games as a favorite, they're 20-1 against the spread. They win, they cover. A lot of people like in BYU. I don't. I think Texas Tech's the right side of the game. Virginia went into Duke, boat raced them 34-17, had close to 550 yards total offense, and now they're playing on a neutral field. Same guys, same players, same this, same that. Mine's 3.5, 4. I don't know how Virginia doesn't take care of business. Last but not least, your shocker. The one shocker. I'm calling it now.
All right, what do you got?
Indiana beats Ohio State.
Oh, that's going to be such a good game.
Okay? Now, let me say this. When you think of Ohio State, you're basically sitting there saying, wow, they've had a great year. Their defense is filthy. What's the highest rated offense that Ohio State has played this year? You don't know, so I'll give you the answer.
Please.
Number 38, the Ohio Bobcats out of the Big Mac. So it's very easy to say you got this great defense that gives up 17 points a game when you haven't faced a top 10 offense all year. And here comes Indiana, number 5 in the nation, and a defense that's ranked in the top 20. And no one's giving them respect.
Yeah.
Texas had Ohio State beat week 1. They lost 14-7 because Arch Manning was a deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
Texas had 367 yards total offense. Ohio State had 242. They dominated the game. They just didn't win.
Yeah.
Ohio State loses this game. Indiana, money line from Italy, Venice to Florence. Your boy B. Lang.
Is that kid a Heisman candidate? The Indiana quarterback?
He is. You got him. You got Davia.
Right.
You have Love, and I can't remember the fourth is. I'm calling for the upset right now. Davia, baby, plus 190.
Really?
Those is plus 170, but Pavia has taken Vandy to, and this is one of the biggest tragedies that no one's talking about. Vandy has 2 losses this year, at Alabama and at Texas. That's it.
Yeah.
And no one's talking about him getting in the playoffs. This coach has done an unbelievable job. Turn them around. They were driving to take the lead against Alabama with 9 minutes to go inside the 15-yard line, and Pavia had a ball tipped and picked off. They never recovered. In Texas, they came back, got within 3, onside kick, had it with a minute to go, and the kid couldn't grab it, rolled out of bounds.
I remember that.
Probably beat I remember that. Beat Texas. So Pavia for the Heisman. Vandy gets shafted, but there you go.
Very good. Outstanding. Nice job. That was fun. That was funny. Have a wonderful weekend, sir. Good luck. Say hello to the wife. We'll wrap to you next week.
Got it.
All right, man.
Everybody.
Love you too. Like Brandon Lang. That was funny. He makes a great point. And I got no time to make it, so I'll make it when we come back. And then we're off to South Pasadena or downtown Los Angeles, talk to Dodgers story Mark Langell. I'd stick around if I you.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm here with Dr. Tarkesh from Affordable Dentures and Implants. Doc, people often think dental implants are a one-size-fits-all solution. How is Affordable Dentures and Implants different than that?
That's a great question. We know every patient is unique and each person has their own specific needs. So we create a personalized treatment plan designed just for them.
Wow. And what makes your process stand apart from the other places?
Well, we offer advanced digital dentistry, which let us design and create custom solutions. And with our on-site lab, we can offer same-day teeth for many patients. No waiting for weeks for your new smile.
Same-day teeth? Now that's impressive.
If you're ready to get started on your new smile today, go see Dr. Tarkesh and his amazing team at Affordable Dentures and Implants on the corner of Truxton and Coffee next to Nothing But Cake. Call 831-7230 to schedule your appointment today.
Go ahead and smile. The annual enrollment period for Medicare is here. That means that it is time for you to select your Medicare plan for 2026. This annual enrollment period, choose a name you already trust. Select Kern Family Healthcare Medicare, DSNP, a new option for people who have both Medicare and Medi-Cal. For over 29 years, Kern Family Healthcare has been a trusted name in Medi-Cal. Now, we're here to support your Medicare journey too. Call 1-866-661-3767. Again, that's 1-866-661-3767. Or visit www.kernfamilyhealthcare.com/Medicare to learn more and enroll. Start your Medicare journey with local care you trust. Choose Kern Family Healthcare. Kern Family Healthcare Medicare is an HMO DSNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the California Medicaid program. Enrollment in Kern Family Healthcare Medicare HMO DSNP depends on contract renewal.
The summer sale is now at Bakersfield Mazda. Brand new 2025 Mazda CX-50 hybrid. Yes, a hybrid. Just a $229 lease for 36 months and $3,999 due at lease on approved credit. CX-50 Mazda CX-50 hybrid. $229 lease per month for 36 months. Excludes tax, title, license, dealer options. 10,000 miles yearly. $3,999 due at signing. Offer ends December 31st, 2025. Bakersfield Mazda, December special. Weibel and Boxer Tops Drive, inside the Bakersfield Auto Mall.
For over 50 years, Hard Rock has been where the music lives. Artists play our stages. Their stories line our walls, and guests walk away feeling like stars. We're a global icon built on one timeless ideal. Love all. Serve all.
See this?
Introducing Hard Rock Casino to Home. Over 2,000 of the hottest slots, over 60 thrilling table games, and the energy only we can deliver. The sound check is over.
I kind of know what it's about, but like I really got it.
426-2537.
You're listening to the Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. Brandon makes a great point about the National Football League and how, as a young quarterback, no matter how talented you are coming out of college, it all depends on where you end up. Because if Caleb Williams ends up with anybody else but Ben Johnson, who knows? Because he was fundamentally horrible until this season. When I think Ben Johnson just said, look, you've got to do it my way. You're not at the Coliseum. You're not wearing cardinal and gold anymore. You're in the National Football League. That ain't Stanford down there, son. That's the Philadelphia Eagles. And you got to get your footwork right. You got to turn your shoulders more. You can't just be throwing off your back foot. And now the guy is a decent quarterback on his way to becoming an accomplished quarterback. And who in the world could have said that the Bears were going to be 9-3 in Week 13? Quick time out. We're going to talk baseball with Dodger historian Mark Langell right after these important words. Was made for me and
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With us are in news. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump's advisors and Ukrainian officials say they'll meet for a third day of talks on Saturday after making progress on finding agreement on a security framework for post-war Ukraine. The two sides also offered the sober assessment that any real progress toward any agreement ultimately will depend on Russia's readiness to show serious commitment to long-term peace. California Congressman Darrell Issa is not moving to Texas to run for Congress. He said he briefly considered it at the urging of Texas colleagues amid a redistricting scramble. Now he's urging fellow California Republicans in tough new districts to stay put. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 104 points. The Nasdaq rose 73. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Liam is a true public servant, say his colleagues. The police dog sniffed out 51 pounds of meth hidden in a car that was pulled over about 7:30 last night on Ming Avenue. They arrested 34-year-old Jorge Alonso, a man who admitted to police that he had had 18 beers and some meth the day before he crashed into a van going 60 at the intersection of Wallace Road and Cecil Avenue, killing his front seat passenger and injuring everybody else. Will be going to prison for 4 years. 36-year-old Fidel Habana Vargas got that sentence Thursday for the wreck that happened May 7th. Toys for Tots is asking for your help. They are short many thousands of toys so far this Christmas and need donations. They say they'd be willing to come by and pick them up. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Norma Diaz, owner of La Rosa Fruit Bars and Ice Cream.
Hi, I'm Norma Diaz from La Rosa Fruit Bars and Ice Cream.
Are you going?
I'm a client and friend of Paul Sheldon. I've known Paul for many, many years, and my parents happened to be his first clients. So, of course, I called Paul and immediately felt this peace come over me, knowing that I didn't have to freak out about making a big decision. His knowledge about Medicare and your health insurance needs are beyond compare, and I was taken care of immediately by his wonderful staff. He knew everything that I needed and what I wouldn't need, so I was pretty much in and out of there in record time. If you're getting to that age or you're going to be needing to know about Medicare, then he's the one to call. He will totally help you out and get you pointed in the right direction. You're going to leave there feeling a great accomplishment and no concerns. And even if you have questions later, his staff can help you out. Those feelings are just priceless to me. So call Paul. You'll be glad you did.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298.
Monday's Armstrong and Getty Show will check in on the Christmas shopping season to see how the economy's doing. Also, have we invaded Venezuela yet? We'll have the latest.
And a growing number of IT staffing firms are posting help wanted ads that say the quiet part out loud. Americans need not apply.
Wow.
These are companies in America. That and the news of the day on the next Armstrong and Getty Show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
On the top. Music stop. Ain't riding no more. West side to the east side. Everybody's very happy. Cause the sun is shining all the time. It's at the colors of the day. I love LA. You love it. Can't get a hold of Mr. Landro, unfortunately. But I bet he calls before. Hey, there he is. He is dependable as all get up. Let me see what Big Dog is talking about. You should tell Mark Landry will be down there on JRD Wednesday, April 15th. Oh, Jackie Robinson Day. To come and meet us at the Dugout Club. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. And how did I not see this other thing? Let's do lunch before Christmas. I'll call you and set it up. Just return from week in Vegas. Take care. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do lunch, Big Dog. That was not him. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, that's weird. I just talked to him, as a matter of fact. I talked to him yesterday.
If it was, he didn't answer when I asked.
Yeah? That's bizarre. He's never stood us up. That's too bad, because there's massive trade rumors. There he is. There's no way that's not him. No way in the world. No way in the world. Massive trade rumors. Not that I think Mark is going to give us the dope. Then who keeps calling us?
This one was somebody asking about something else, but yeah.
Who was the first call? Who's the first call?
That one? I have no idea. No one answered.
Oh, okay. Well, it's unfortunate we don't get to talk to him because I would love to talk about some of these trade rumors that are floating around baseball. You got to walk me through this. Why is this chair sinking as I sit in it? Am I that fat?
They're all kind of doing that now.
Well, you know what? I got to plead guilty. I got to stop. I was watching the show last night, and I got to stop jumping into the. See, I just did it. Jumping into these chairs. I'm ruining the chairs, my fat ass. Jumping in it like an idiot. But you got to walk me through some of these players because some of these guys I've never even heard of.
Got you.
Like Steve Kwan. Never heard of him.
Kwan, I believe, played with Cleveland for a while.
Worked with
outfielder.
The Dodgers worked with the Guardians at the deadline to get a deal across for Kwan, but nothing came of their conversations. Kwan is under team control through 2027, and Cleveland.com's Paul Haynes and Joe Noga believe he could be traded if the Guardians don't sign him to an extension by the end of the offseason. Kwan, a four-time Gold Glover, is one of MLB's premier contact hitters, strikes out less than almost anyone across the league. We need a contact hitter. We really do, because we strike out way too much. We've got way too many hitters hitting around 200 and less. And we need a decent left fielder. Kiki's solid. I still think Kiki makes that catch. What do y'all think? When Paez runs him over in the ninth inning, I think Kiki makes that catch. I really do. Although, as I said when we first ended the series, the wall is the unknown factor because he was gonna bang into that wall. And can you imagine? He catches it, he bangs into the wall, and the ball drops, and we lose the World Series in the middle of center field in Toronto. So I like this guy. His skill set and solid offensive and defensive profile would make him invaluable to the Dodgers if they could bring him in. Brandon Donovan. Never heard of him.
Okay, the name I know, but to be honest with you, I couldn't tell you how good he is.
He has a similar skill set to Kwan, not striking out often while generating plenty of contact. The Dodgers have been linked to Donovan extensively this season, but may not be alone in pursuing him. Donovan could slot directly into left and could also help out in the infield when needed. Adam Judge of the Seattle Times reported that the Seattle Mariners have expressed their interest in the utility man this offseason. I'm not sure we need another utility guy.
No, you got Kike. You don't really.
And Tommy Edman.
Yeah, Edman too.
So I don't think we need another utility cat. We need a strict, hopefully, contact, get on base, left fielder. You put him where? You put him, if he's a contact hitter, put him in a two-hole. Put him behind Shohei. Go Shohei, Kwan, Mookie, Freddie, Teo, Edman. Where's Will Smith? I think you gotta move up Will Smith a little bit. I liked Will Smith in that. Where was he in the final two games? The 3-hole?
He was in the 3
or
or
the
2-hole.
2-hole?
Yeah.
Might have been the 2 or the 3 or the 4 somewhere. I think you got to move him up.
Because Mookie is second. Shohei usually is traditionally leading off.
But not at the end. They moved Mookie down.
That's
Remember?
fair. They might have flip-flopped him and Smith.
Yeah. Who else we got here? Please stand by. God, I'm really disappointed we didn't get Mark. That's unlike him. I hope nothing's wrong. That's what I always think when reliable people like that disappear. Particularly when I text him. He's never not answered one of my texts. But it happens. Lars Nootbaar?
Nootbaar, yes.
Never heard of him.
Longtime Cardinal. Pretty solid batter, I would say.
He's more natural option in the outfield than Donovan, while not as elite at avoiding strikeouts and generating contact compared to Donovan. The left fielder posted a solid set of years before a sub-700 OPS year in 2025 and will look to bounce back with a change of scenery. Ardea and Wu say Nootbaar is more affordable option, and the Dodgers could look to move in the rebuilding central squad. Huh? What? Did I read that right? Look to move in on the rebuilding central squad. I don't even know what that means. Jarren Duran.
Is this the one from Boston?
Has been a candidate for a trade all offseason after narrowly avoiding a move to San Diego at the trade deadline. The Red Sox have too many solid outfielders, and Duran, the oldest among his peers, I don't like that, could be one of the one to make his way out. MLB.com's Ian Brown believes the Red Sox should pursue starting pitching, something the Dodgers have plenty of, in exchange for Duran. Wouldn't everyone agree that the Sox need to add another frontline pitcher to pair with Garrett Crochet rather than merely replace Giolito? Brown wrote after the Red Sox acquired starter Sonny Gray from the Cardinals. God, I wish we had gotten Sonny Gray. Byron Buxton.
Yep, longtime Twin.
Buxton and Dodgers have flirted with each other over the past several seasons, but nothing has come of it. The Twins blew up their core at the deadline, though, so the door could be cracked for a deal. The veteran has a no-trade clause on his contract, but is willing to waive it for the right team. You think? Everybody and their mama wants to come to Los Angeles. The Dodgers are a premier landing spot for any player at the moment. I thought I just said that. And have the prospects available to appease a rebuilding Twins team. Those are your suspected trades.
Oh, Kyle Tucker. Oh, trade targets. Never mind. That's different.
What, we're going to sign Tucker? Is he a free agent?
He is a free agent, yes. But I don't know if you're going to sign him. He's probably going to be one of the biggest acquisitions this offseason besides Schwarber.
And I don't see us giving him $400 or $500 million. If we're going to dole that kind of money out, give it to Cody Bellinger. Put Cody in center. Put Pages in left. And I guess you got to leave Teo in right unless we move Teo.
You could probably trade Teo to Boston if you ended up figuring something out there.
And get some arms for Teo. And then, so then if we do that, if we move Teo, then you put Bellinger in. I like Bellinger in center. I really do. He can steal home runs. He's done it several times at Dodger Stadium. He's got a decent arm. I like him in center field. Although Pages is proved to be a pretty damn good center fielder. It's a matter of Pages' back. And he had 25, 30 home runs again. What he had 27, 28 last year. And, a lot of guys do nothing in the playoffs. The first that always comes to mind is Dave Winfield, who's one of the greatest athletes who ever lived. Could have been drafted by the NBA, could have been drafted as a pitcher. My pitching coach at Brentwood High School went to SC and played with Dave Winfield on the team where they were playing. Oh, no, Winfield didn't go to SC. Winfield they were playing SC. That's what it was. And Winfield was the pitcher. I think it went to the University of Minnesota. Please stand by. Hey, Siri, where did Dave Winfield go to college? Paul Winfield.
I found 3. University of Portland. Stanford University.
No, not Paul Winfield, the actor. He did go to Minnesota? Okay, so Minnesota's playing SC. And Winfield goes the distance. He goes like 10 innings. And they beat SC 1-0. And I think he hit the home run to make it 1-0. He's one of the great athletes. I met him. Speaking of Mike Big Dog Parent, I met Dave Winfield. I want to keep talking about Paul Winfield. You know who Paul Winfield is, don't you?
Name escapes me, to be honest.
Black actor who gets killed in The Terminator. Remember the cop who's trying to shut up, Siri. Remember the cop who's trying to protect Sarah Connor at the police station? When Arnold says, "I'll be back," and Sarah is hiding at the police station, and the late gay Paul Winfield tries to. He also played Martin Luther King, which was crazy because he was 6'3" and Martin Luther King was like 5'9". But and he's in a Star Trek movie. He's in The Wrath of Khan, as a matter of fact. But yeah, he plays the cop that gets whacked at the police station when Arnold comes back to get Sarah Connor.
I'm trying to remember the scene, but honestly, it's been so long since I've watched the Terminator movies.
You don't remember the scene where he comes and drives the car into the police station?
Yeah, it's been so long.
Wow.
I need a refresher.
You do need to go see the film. It'll be like new to you then. If you don't remember that.
I'm one of those people, like, I'll forget it, but the minute I turn on the movie and start seeing stuff, all of my memories of the movie come back immediately. It's weird.
That's hard to watch because now that I've met Mr. Schwarzenegger. Mark Langell, please stand by. We can do it at 5 o'clock. My apologies. Can we talk at 5? Please stand by. I'm booking the show.
Or at least rebooking?
Yeah, rebooking. Nicely said. Sure, outstanding. So we'll talk with Mr. Langell coming up at the top of the hour. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll check the board, see what you all are talking about. I've got some great audio from Car and Car talking about car. It's really kind of cool. JR, you're going to love this. Tell him he's got to hear this. You got to listen to this. David and Derek on their podcast talking about Darren. It's really good stuff. And talking about BCHS. I did not know they've lost one league game in his history.
Yep.
That is crazy.
98 in counting wins. Because if
That
he wins
is
the next two, it's
nuts.
That's how Greg explained it to me earlier. Because I saw the same bite and was going to use it on our show, but I didn't end up using
The
it.
car thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the whole. Did I send it to you?
You did. Yeah, I have it here.
Yeah. It's great. They spent like 2 or 3 minutes talking about their big brother. He's the middle.
Brother.
He's the middle.
Middle brother.
Yeah.
David's the oldest, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. It really is a good podcast. I've dumped the Kelsey brothers, and I've been listening to these guys. Derek tells a great story of Mike Tomlin coaching him in the Pro Bowl. It's a really good story. I think I got that audio as well. Take a quick time out. We'll come back, check the board. I'll play some audio for you. And Mark Langell will join us at the top of the hour. You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, we'll know who the world champion of the world is in Formula One. We'll find out how much I won football picks by. We'll have state-of-the-art news, traffic, and weather, and talk jobs with America's Job Center. All that is happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and streaming live on a worldwide web at kernradio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, visit FVGradio.com. If you want 100% complimentary stay at a luxury resort in Cancun, airfare not included, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. See website for complete details. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. You know it? Call now, 800-417-6411. 800-417-6411. You're also eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $498. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and you get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $498. What are you waiting for? Call 800-417-6411 and give us your answer. The proceeding is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and not sponsored by this program or its affiliates.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at radiodirect.com/privacy. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Text help for help. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
You've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications that are all over the news, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie, and if you qualify, you can get medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1s at 80 to 90% savings without insurance, all 100% online.
Wait, I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No long wait at the doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide and tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, for 80 to 90% less and shipped direct to your door.
Amazing. How do I get started?
Just send them a text.
Text SLIM to 797979 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic for 80 to 90% less, 100% online. Don't wait. Text SLIM to 797979 right now for your exclusive offer. Text SLIM to 797979. That's SLIM to 797979.
These statements and products have not been evaluated or approved by the FDA for weight loss.
It's that man again, Ralph Bailey, for Agape Air. You know, when the air just isn't right, call the team that gets it done right. That's Agape Air, keeping homes comfortable for 18 years. Locally owned and always professional. And who knows better than I? They serve my complex. From smart thermostat help to service requests, repairs, replacements, and preventative maintenance, Agape Air is prompt, knowledgeable, and delivers quality you can trust. Don't sweat it. Call Agape Air at 661-399-6600 today. Agape Air, comfort you can feel, service you can trust.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage California can count on.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and
Performing tonight for you guys. It'll be fun. You guys are going to have fun. You're going to love the Stockyard. Have you ever been to the Stockyard?
Oh, yeah, many times.
My two of my favorite moments have occurred at the Stockyard and a Casey Steakhouse. 2024, game one, J.R. Flores to my right, and Freddie hits the grand slam. And I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. And I saw 3 of the World Series this year at Casey Steakhouse, including Game 7. And I have to thank Mike Guerrier because we were down 3-1. I was moping at my house, and he's like, let's go, boy. I'm like, I'm not going out in public to watch our team lose and have some Blue Jay fan at Casey Steakhouse yipping and screaming, and I end up going to jail because I punch him in the jaw. You know what I'm saying?
True, but not to be that guy, how many Blue Jays fans do we really have here?
True that. True that. In fact, after the game, Game 7 at Casey Steakhouse, they were literally chanting USA.
Yeah, exactly.
They really were.
Like, a lot of people were saying it that way.
Yeah.
Like, that's a little ridiculous to put it that way, but I mean, I get it. Everybody's a Dodger fan, so just roll with that.
And as soon as Arias walked in, Max Muncy hits the home run to get us within 1. And I'm like, holy crap, we could win this thing. And then Miggy. And then, you know, I've been telling you, all I've been seeing on the reels are these people that record themselves watching Game 7.
Yeah.
I wish we had done that. And I've always thought about asking Cassie for the video because she has cameras. Who knows better than Jawbone Ralph that she has cameras in the restaurant. And I would love to see the double play because I was sitting. Okay, you guys know how KC is shaped, where the big TV is right in this area, and this is the bar. So I was sitting at a table just off the bar. And I'm literally, you can ask Arias this. I'm like, ground ball. Just keep it down, Yosh. Just keep it down. Ground ball, no fly balls. Fly balls, we go to 10. Just ground ball, ground ball. He hits the ground ball. I stand up, and I'm like, turn it. And I literally go running out of the restaurant. Sorry.
You were going to take everything.
Literally go running out of the restaurant like this. Just just acting stupid and just, God, isn't it crazy how 25 guys who wouldn't give me a quarter, wouldn't look at me sideways, could bring such joy? I mean, those are distinct memories. Freddie hitting that home run and me just like, no, yes. And then running out of Casey Steakhouse that night. God, that was such a good feeling. And think about just how miserable we would be as Dodger fans had Will not got his foot back down, had Miggy fallen at second base, or if Pages drops the ball. I mean, there are so many moments that could have changed that series. The base running of the Blue Jays, if the runner at third on the play to Miggy gets a bigger lead, because there's no way he's getting doubled off at third. No way in the world. Muncy wasn't even near the bag. He could have gotten, because literally, if he gets a step further, he's safe. Isn't that crazy? And I mean, literally, this is what separated them from a World's Championship, about 6 inches. And that's what I'm telling you, as an athlete, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but you'd rather get blown out than, because you don't think Pedro Guerrero is thinking about the World Series right now. No matter where he is, no matter what he's doing, no matter who he's with, at some point in this day, Friday, December 5th, every member of the Toronto Blue Jays thought about the World Series.
I was going to say, you mean Vladimir, right?
What'd I say? Pedro again? I'm a 20th century guy. My memory is Pedro Guerrero, our third baseman outfielder, who was the biggest jerk. I hated Pedro Guerrero. Don't you hate when you got to root for guys that you don't like LeBron James, who again is not playing tonight? Luka and LeBron aren't playing tonight.
Luka is rumored that he may have had another child, actually. So that would make sense why he's not playing. LeBron, I have no idea. Cataracts, maybe?
Who knows and who cares? I think who we were playing? Boston in Boston?
Yeah. Boston at Boston.
God, was I on point last night, though? I really showed off last night. I had Atlanta and Dallas last night. Wasn't Atlanta they played?
No.
The Lakers? Who they beat at the buzzer?
No. Who did
the Raptors?
No, the Atlanta played the Clippers last night.
And we played the Raptors?
Yeah, you guys played the Raptors.
That's who we beat at the buzzer?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, I had them and I had Dallas.
Oh, that's right. And LeBron's streak ended last night, too.
Yes, it did.
I actually didn't even mention that this morning.
Yes, it did. He had 8 points last night. $52 million. And the old pro can't score 10 points.
He did hit the game-winning shot, though.
No, he didn't. Rui did.
Or he set it up or something.
Yeah, he was dribble driving, and he's too afraid.
That's what I read, because I didn't get to watch the game.
No, he's too afraid. He doesn't take the last shot. If you notice that, he doesn't take the last shot. Because if that had been Kobe, because he had a lane. And you know what he's afraid of, don't you?
See?
Free throws.
Well, yeah.
He's a horrible free throw shooter, particularly in clutch. Actually, we were tied, so he only had to hit one.
He's gotten tremendously better since his younger years, though. He used to be awful.
Yeah, you're right. He used to be like a 70%.
Barely 70%.
Yeah. But no, he kicks it out. I'd rather see him drive to the back than kick it out to a three-pointer. And why we're shooting a three-pointer when we're tied, I don't know. But Rui hit it. But I had both opposite teams. Mark Langell joins us next.
This is AM 1180 KERN Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
I know. Hang on.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Members of Florida's congressional delegation sent a letter to President Trump on Friday in opposition to plans to open new areas of the Gulf to oil and gas drilling.
Florida's Republican-dominated congressional delegation is urging the Trump administration to drop a plan that would allow new oil drilling for the first time in decades off of Florida's coast. The letter was signed by Republican Senator Rick Scott and Ashley Moody, as well as by 28 House members from Florida, saying that the Interior Department plan would put the state's thriving tourism industry at risk and disrupt military operations in key training areas. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
House Republicans are increasingly airing their grievances about party leadership. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
With Republicans holding on to a slim majority, House Speaker Mike Johnson already has a difficult job. To make matters worse, his fellow GOP lawmakers are venting their frustrations in public. Over the past week, a member of Johnson's own leadership team openly accused him of lying. Rank-and-file Republicans acted unilaterally to force votes, and a leadership-backed bill failed. Johnson told reporters that getting upset is part of the process, but he's urging Republicans to share their concerns privately with him, not on social media. Greg Clugston, Washington.
President Trump's advisors and Ukrainian officials say they'll meet for a third day of talks on Saturday after making progress on finding an agreement on a security framework for post-war Ukraine. The two sides also offered the sober assessment that any real progress toward any agreement will ultimately depend on Russia's readiness to show serious commitment to long-term peace. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 104 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. More than 1 million people are part of healthcare sharing now because it just makes so much sense right now. And MediShare is the gold standard. Members like it a lot. We know this from member surveys. MediShare has been around for over 30 years. It is a proven thing. And if you join before December 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline's December 15th. Call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. It's 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. 844-41-BIBLE.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
He said he looked down at his phone and then the crash happened. I'm Chris Davis. What actually happened is that 36-year-old Fidel Habana Vargas had drank 18 beers the day before and had done some meth too, admitting that to cops, and was still under the influence. Now he will serve 4 years in prison because that crash May 7th at the intersection of Wallace Road and Cecil Avenue killed his front seat passenger, 24-year-old Oliver Villalba. CHP says Vargas was going 60 when he hit a van, and everybody involved in the wreck had some kind of injury. A police dog named Liam helped sniff out 51 pounds of meth last night in Bakersfield, say police. That happened when an officer pulled over 34-year-old Jorge Alonso on Ming Avenue about 7:30, and Liam's nose for news told the officer something was up. During a search of the vehicle, the meth was found hidden with a pound each in each of the bags that were found in the cargo area. The first victim in the shootings that happened April 21st at Corwin Street and Lime Avenue was a van. The second victim was a cop who got out of his car to see what was going on. He was immediately shot by 17-year-old Annette Garcia. Officer Michael Calacchio shot back, hitting her in the hip. Now Garcia has been sentenced to serve 5 years in a juvenile facility. She told investigators she believed the police were trying to kill her family, and they found no evidence of that. Toys for Tots Bakersfield chapter is having a tough time getting the donations they need for the year. In fact, they've only gotten about a third so far of the 46,000 toys they handed out last year. They know the times are tough, but they are making an appeal asking if you can donate a toy for the kids and maybe things like shoes, clothes, perfume, and shaving kits for the teenagers. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think, this is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You got to get up close like this. Bing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk
Exactly.
96.1 and
It'll be
AM
on
1180
trade, maybe.
KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call.
You never know.
You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661
I know Cassie was calling Billy this
KERN. That's
afternoon because she called me by accident.
661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast, final hour of the week as we wrap up another 5 days of outstanding radio broadcasting right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN, where we stream live at kernradio.com and broadcast live on YouTube for our 500 subscribers. Still lots to do in the final hour. I'm going to play that audio from David and Derek Carr talking about their brother Darren and his one league defeat in 10 years at Bakersfield Christian High School as the Eagles are vying for their second state title in his 10-year tenure. We'll talk about that. And at the bottom of the hour, I'll tell you about this crazy trial in Dedham, Massachusetts, where a man found his wife dead in the bed, allegedly, found her dead, and claims he panicked and dismembered her body and hid it in the woods, but he did not kill her. Okay. And the only reason it's gaining national attention, the only reason I'm talking about it, is because she was having an affair. The boyfriend has testified. It's a little funky. There's some interesting facts. The husband, who didn't kill her allegedly, is a con artist. He was selling fake Monets. It's a sordid soap opera-like story that I will share with you. But in the meantime, we are off to Los Angeles to talk with Dodger historian and overall good egg, Mark Langell. Have you figuratively sobered up from the World Series yet?
Ralph, I'm going to have a program with Tommy Edman on Sunday, and the thing I can't wait to ask is, Tommy, it's the ninth inning, bases loaded, 2 outs. What if Joe Davis is saying there's a high fly ball, and Tommy Edman's going after it? What's the answer, Tommy?
He played some solid defense. When I think of Tommy Edman now, I think of him sliding behind Freddie after it goes off his glove and him throwing out, I think, Vladimir out at third base. And then I think of the relay from Teo to Edman to get, I don't know who it was, at home plate. That's what I think of when I think of Tommy.
It's just amazing, too, when you think about it, that the entire World Series comes down to a Christmas tree ornament with Pages and Kike crashing into one another. And anybody looking at that ornament knows exactly where they were if they were watching that live during the World Series.
Yeah. Does Kike make that catch if Pages can't get there?
Well, that's the beauty. We'll never know. That's, all the Kike fans would say, sure. But, I don't think anybody's made a catch like that in the World Series since Willie Mays in 54.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty. We can debate this thing forever because no matter what happens, somebody caught it, and the Dodgers are the champions.
We were just talking about that, how many different moments there were that led to this World Series and just how close we came to losing it. Literally 6 inches on the home plate play with Will Smith. We were just saying, what if Miggy loses his balance on the throw? What if Pages can't get there? I mean, there are just so many ifs. What if the ball doesn't lodge in the fence? There are just so many little plays that led to our championship.
Well, think about poor Scott Norwood. He's been thinking for 30-plus years, what if that kick
wide right,
a few feet over to the left?
Yeah, wide right. Buffalo Bills, New York Giants. I remember I won a little money on that Super Bowl, as a matter of fact. Was this the greatest World Series of our lifetimes?
Well, I think it's depending on who you were rooting for, because if the Dodgers lose Game 7, you are not going to objectively announce that you saw the greatest game ever. You're going to sign up for therapy and try to get over it because, it's easy to when your team wins the greatest game in history, it's great. But, as I said, you're on the other side of Dennis Eckersley and Kirk Gibson or Bill Buckner and that ball going through the legs. They don't seem to celebrate it as being a great moment or a great game.
No, not at all. But it truly was. It was, as I've said, the only thing better than winning is winning when you don't think you're going to win. When the odds are against you and your back is up against the wall. And as Joe Davis said, the Dodgers stood tall. And to beat the champ, you got to knock him out.
I think if we had swept the Blue Jays after sweeping the Brewers, you'd have just this uproar as far as we're, quote, buying a championship. And nothing changed as far as payroll. But suddenly, when you look like Bad News Bears out there during the World Series in Game 7, suddenly, it goes out the window. Exactly what you said as far as we actually look human. And I think that's what made it so sweet because, you're sitting there in the 7th inning going, there's no way they're going to win this game.
Nope. When we were down 3-1, I was just telling the audience, a buddy of mine called me to a local restaurant to watch the end of it. And I was like, no, we're going to lose. And he said, you got to get up here. And I did. And fortunately, I did go because we came back. Like I said, there's nothing better than winning than when you don't think you're going to win. And I really did not think we were going to win that baseball game. I really didn't.
I still can't believe we won. That's the crazy thing. I look at pictures. Complete strangers come up to me if I'm wearing a Dodger T-shirt. They don't know what I do, and they just start talking. They say, I can't stop watching the replays, and they've got a big smile on their face. And that's the amazing thing is I think everybody is in wonderful, in this wonderful haze in terms of how did this happen?
Yeah, absolutely. We stream live at KernRadio.com, so we can be heard literally all over the world. So there may be some Los Angeles folks or some folks from here that'll be in LA this weekend. Where are you going to be with Tommy Edman?
Well, it's a MasterCard event for Dodger Stadium, and it's going to be in the Speakeasy Lounge, and it's a small, intimate group that MasterCard puts on. And the really cool thing about it is I absolutely love that format because for 45 minutes, it's just like you as a talk show host, Ralph. You're able to talk to people as opposed to that, 2-minute soundbite by the locker. And Tommy's just the most wonderful person in the world. And, people like that you're so happy for. So I'm really looking forward to it. But as I said in the beginning, when we were starting to talk, that's what I want to know. Fly ball to Tommy Edman. How often do you think about it? What would have happened? And, after I had a story about it, too, for the Dodger Insider, I think the lead is going to be obvious. It's the greatest catch that Tommy Edman will never have to make.
Ain't that the truth? Let's look forward now, unless there's more reminiscing you'd like to do, and I don't have a problem with that. But let's look forward. Any thoughts on trade rumors or signings?
Not really, because I think what happens is it's the natural musical chairs in the industry. And, it's kind of like, in a way, the college football transfer portal, in terms of you've got in October, all the teams, kumbaya, do your NHL hockey beards, we love one another. And that's all fine and good, but it's also a business. So suddenly Dylan Cease to the Blue Jays, and you see Devin Williams to the Mets. So there's a business side to it, too. And you understand that. So we re-signed Miggy Rojas, so that's good that he's coming back.
Very good.
But in terms of basically most of the contending teams already have their third of the roster that's their base. And now it's just a matter of what they're going to fill in and what's available. But, don't forget, it's just one part of the component because you've also got to see how the first part of the season plays out. And then you have the trade deadline where you have another round of musical chairs. So the off season right now is really for teams that are going to make that 7 to 10 year commitment to somebody. That's really about it in terms of the major free agents where they're going to go. The other guys, they'll probably sign first week of January. But right now, the ones, the high profile ones, that's the intrigue as far as who's going to go where.
Yeah. What do you think the Dodgers' main priority is? Is it left field or pitching?
Oh, I think it's always got to be pitching because pitching is your lifeblood. Pitching, you can't wing it with pitching, and I think you saw that. And I think the other thing people have to realize, Yamamoto is not going to suddenly turn into Sandy Koufax and throw, 30 complete games next year. The playoffs are an aberration, and you do it differently. You're still going to have to manage workload because it's kind of like the Olympic trials. There's no reason to blow yourself out, in May and June when really we've seen, the Olympics are in October.
Right. I love that. I love that approach that we're not concerned about winning the division. We're not worried about winning games because we know we're going to win games. We are getting ready for the playoffs in February. I like that approach.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, how would you like to be, and I use the analogy as far as an Olympic athlete, how would you like to set a world record during the trials? And then for the next 2 months, you had to sit there hearing how not only are you the favorite, but, go do your world record again. You just have to worry about the next day, stay healthy. And it's just kind of like a marathon. Hang around the pack, and then who's going to do the sprint at the end?
Yeah. Mark Langell is our guest, good friend of the broadcast, Dodger historian. Have you spoken with Dave Roberts since the World Series?
I've spoken to him once, basically, just a quick, congratulations. And the funny thing is, you run out of things to congratulate him about because he's 10 for 10 as far as, winning the division. That's the funny thing in terms of, I think he is so, you look at that record and it's incredible because nobody else has ever gone 10 for 10, the first 10 years as a manager. So you can congratulate him all day long, and you can also say, oh, yeah, he's got great players and everything like that. But, the sanctity of the clubhouse and chemistry, you look at NBA and NFL teams that are supposed to be great, and, look at the Clippers right now as far as what's going on. It doesn't automatically happen, and for whatever reason, he's been able to feel the pulse of that clubhouse. And it's a team effort with Andrew Friedman and Brandon Gomes and the wonderful baseball ops. They've just got a great machinery going, but it's still all about people, and it's still all about, flexibility because, you have to have plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, go through the alphabet because nobody thought, some of these players that you saw in the playoffs would be around.
Yeah.
Look at anybody is lying if they said they knew who Will Klein was before the 18-inning game at Dodger Stadium in Game 3 of the World Series.
Yep.
Nobody knew who Will Klein was, and he comes up with 6 scoreless innings. So you just have to be flexible and see what happens.
The reason I ask is because I can't believe, and as my listeners will tell you, I've been a critic of Dave Roberts for a while, for several seasons. From I remember, 5 or 6 years ago when he pulled Clayton in the middle of a no-hitter, and he's done that a couple of times. I've been a big critic of Dave Roberts. But the last 2 World Series, the last 2 playoffs, he's been masterful, where he last year engineered a bullpen game in the middle of the playoffs, and I criticized it. We're going to get murdered, and we ended up winning. And, the moves that he made this playoffs session, how he was not manager of the year, I just don't understand.
I think Dave Roberts could care less about the manager of the year award because, first of all, that's based on regular season and not the playoffs. And, the other thing, too, is you got to remember that he's working with baseball ops. And the way analytics is and everything like that, he's the front man in terms of the clubhouse, the in-game decisions. But you just absolutely never know behind the scenes as far as what goes into the lineup. And I totally agree with pulling him. I don't care if it's a perfect game in the 7th inning. If he's got a pitch count, and if there's a reason he's only supposed to throw a number of pitches, and I believe it was only 39 degrees that day in Minnesota when Kershaw had the perfect game, then that's totally fine because you look at some of the other pitchers where they went off script and let the guy throw a no-hitter, and then suddenly he's on the injured list. So there's a reason for what they do. I know sentimentally you'd love to see a no-hitter, but, sometimes, hey, if they tell them it's 100 pitches, it's 100 pitches.
Yeah. I totally disagree, but that's okay. I will leave you with this. Can they three-peat? And I've got a funny feeling, Mark. I think there's like a gorilla off everybody's back that we have proven with Ohtani, with this huge salary for all our players, that we are the dominant team. And I think there comes a relaxation. You know what I'm saying? And I think it'll be easier to repeat the third time than it was the second time. Yeah, that's right. I said it.
I think, Ralph, when you barely win Game 7, the more time away from that, you suddenly beat your chest and think you're better than you are. And instead of saying, can we three-peat, you better say to yourself, we were lucky to repeat because, one break here or there, and nobody's even talking about three-peat. But I think the answer to your question is yes, anything is possible, and you always have to be optimistic. And they prove they're always going to be there. We'll just have to see what happens.
Well said, sir. Always great to talk to you. We appreciate you taking the time and have fun this weekend with Tommy Edman.
Definitely. Thank you, Ralph. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Everyone.
All right, you as well, sir. Mark Langell, Dodger historian, with whom I could not disagree more. You guys know what a big critic I am with Dave Roberts, but he deserved to be manager of the year. Milwaukee? Really? The team that we swept? What's his name? Pat Murphy? Really? The team that we just kind of like said, get out of the way, we're going to the World Series? He's the manager of the year. What? Go ahead. What? Go ahead, say something.
They swept you in the regular season.
I don't give a damn.
And it's a regular season award.
I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn.
It's just like Yoshi not winning the MVP.
Which is crazy.
Or Cy Young or whatever. That doesn't matter.
Crazy.
Nothing that happens in the playoffs matters. That's why we have an MVP for that.
I still say regular season he was the best. It's not easy to control. You know, that's what they said about Phil. Oh, he's just rolling the ball out there. There is a cohesion and a culture that the manager creates in that clubhouse. And 10 straight. Does he even have a manager of the year award? Let's find out. We'll tell you when we come back. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Friday, wrapping this thing up on a cold December night. Right here on Newstalk 96.1 at AM 1180 KERN, where we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Coming up on Monday edition of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, updates from the D.C. pipe bomber case. We'll give you all the latest on the details there and also how it is changing some of the media narrative around January 6th. We'll discuss as well the Trump administration's efforts to enforce immigration, ICE raids in major American cities continuing through the end of the year. We'll get into that coming up on Clay and Buck.
Live 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I lost my Cheeto. Hope you join us every Thursday, particularly at 4:30, when Daniel Petrie from Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors joins us. Daniel gives us a weekly update on the deficit and its growth.
How did I lose my Cheetos?
Then you go into hot?
Probably. Or I left them up by the coffee machine.
Petrie Wealth Advisors are all about. They're all about retirement. I keep telling you guys, it's one of the smartest moves that I've ever made financially. Call Daniel at 395-9400, 395-9400 if retirement is in your near future. Or just tune in Thursdays at 4:30 when he joins us every week. Daniel Petrie and the folks at Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors.
This broadcast is for informational purposes only. Does not constitute a solicitation or offer to buy or sell any security, future, option, or other financial instrument, or to offer or provide any investment advisory or other services to any person in any jurisdiction by Daniel Petrie or MPWA Inc., DBA Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. Any views expressed in this broadcast by us are prepared based upon the information available to us at the time, and we are under no obligation to update our views.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Vance Furtado.
Hi, my name is Vance Furtado, and I saw Paul Sheldon's
advertising, and my wife and I were going to need to begin Medicare very soon, and we thought he would be a great guy to talk to. And we were not disappointed. He and his staff were excellent. They provided much needed guidance for us, and we would recommend Paul Sheldon and his agency to anyone desiring help when it comes to figuring out the confusing world of Medicare. Medicare can be so terribly confusing. That's why my wife and I were so glad that we went to Paul Sheldon. He and his staff were incredibly helpful to us. So I would recommend Paul and his agency to anyone. Thank you, Paul, for all the help that you provided, giving us an excellent sense and direction of how best to satisfy our needs when it comes to Medicare.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at radiodirect.com/privacy. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Text help for help. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
You've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications that are all over the news, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie, and if you qualify, you can get medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1s at 80 to 90% savings without insurance, all 100% online.
Wait, I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No long wait at the doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide and tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, for 80 to 90% less and shipped direct to your door.
Amazing. How do I get started?
Just send them a text.
Text SLIM to 797979 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic for 80 to 90% less, 100% online. Don't wait. Text SLIM to 797979 right now for your exclusive offer. Text SLIM to 797979. That's SLIM to 797979.
These statements and products have not been evaluated or approved by the FDA for weight loss.
The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
Love Mark Langell, really nice man. I disagree with him though on a lot of the things that he said. I think that we all are a little vain and we all want to be recognized. Granted, his main priority, Dave Roberts, is to win a championship, and I'm sure he's very, very happy. I mean, he knows he's going to the Hall of Fame. And had he lost, I'm not sure. Probably, but maybe not. Maybe he goes down as the Bobby Cox, who had a great dynasty and kept winning divisions, but only won one championship with that great rotation of Maddox and Smoltz and who was the left-hander? Glavine and Steve Williams and all those guys. But Bobby Cox is in the Hall of Fame. But now it's not even a question. He's gone back-to-back and he's going to the Hall of Fame. But you don't think that he wants Manager of the Year? I disagree with Mark. I think, of course, he wants it. We all want to be recognized. And I think he deserved it. I really do. But when you've got a lot of talent, Phil Jackson went through the same thing. Oh, well, he had Mike and he had Shaq and he had Kobe. Of course he won. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. It really, really isn't. 842-5376. Let's read a text message and then get into the final half hour of the broadcast.
Maybe the bird strike thing isn't as big of a deal on landing because if it happens, the plane just continues with the landing.
True that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Although you're still losing velocity.
I guess it depends where it hits you, too.
Yeah. This one hit, I think, the right engine, and they just turned around and returned to LAX. That is scary.
That'd be terrifying, I'm not going to lie.
And you would hear it. That's the scariest part. You would hear the thump, 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 thump. You'd be like, what the hell was that? And you'd feel the deceleration, and bells and whistles would go off. The flight attendants would be running for their jump seats. God, that'd be terrifying. The worst incident I've ever seen. Have you ever seen the video of the plane that's coming to LAX and the front wheel gear is running perpendicular with the runway? You've never seen that?
No, I haven't.
That would be terrifying because it was live on the news and the passengers were watching themselves land with the landing gear not straight. And it landed safely. Final half hour, don't go anywhere.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With us for the news, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The prosecutor says the man accused of planting the pipe bombs outside the headquarters of the Republican and Democratic National Parties in Washington on the eve of the U.S. Capitol attack told investigators he was disappointed in the outcome of the 2020 presidential election. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro told ABC News Live that she believes it is unmistakable that Brian Cole Jr. was responsible for placing the pipe bombs on January 5th, 2021. President Trump's advisors and Ukrainian officials say they'll meet for a third day of talks on Saturday after making progress on finding agreement on a security framework for post-war Ukraine. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 104 points, the Nasdaq rose 73. More details at SRNnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Chris Davis. She shot a cop. He shot her back. And now 17-year-old Annette Garcia will spend 5 years at a juvenile facility. That incident happened April 21st at Corwin Street and Lime Road. Officer Michael Kalakios was found to be within his legal right to shoot back. Back on May 7th, Fidel Habana Vargas was going 60 miles per hour when he slammed into a van at the intersection of Wallace Road and Cecil Avenue. His passenger was killed in the wreck, and he tried to sell the cops that he was looking at his phone, and that's what caused it. When they gave him a blood test, they found he was above the legal limit, and he admitted to having had 18 beers the day before and said he did a little meth, too. Now Vargas will do 4 years in prison. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
It's that man again, Ralph Bailey for Adaptive Networks. Are you a business owner who feel that your IT company just treats you just like another ticket number? Well, at Adaptive Networks, exceptional customer service isn't just a promise. It's how they do business every single day. And when you call, you're actually talking to a real person who knows your name, understands your business, and genuinely cares about solving your problem. No phone trees, no runaround, no attitude. From the moment you become a client, you'll experience the difference that comes from working with a company that puts customer service first. And no one knows that better than the folks here at American General Media, because we've teamed up with Adaptive Networks. Ready to experience IT support the way it should be? Call Adaptive Networks at 661-241-0638 or visit adaptive-net.com today. Adaptive Networks, where great technology meets even greater customer service.
Monday's Armstrong and Getty Show will check in on the Christmas shopping season to see how the economy's doing. Also, have we invaded Venezuela yet? We'll have the latest.
And a growing number of IT staffing firms are posting help-wanted ads that say the quiet part out loud. Americans need not apply. Wow. These are companies in America. That and the news of the day on the next Armstrong and Getty Show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon.
Crazy.
Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
All things that they used to be known. On the oceans and upon our seas, fish full of mercury. 842-5376, 842-KERN, what do you got?
Doing that everywhere else is problematic. Oh, I'm sorry, there's a text before this. It's because airports spend a considerable amount of time and money to keep birds away.
Well, then how come there are bird strikes? And the Sully, that didn't happen near the airport. They were in flight for about.
Well, I think
2
we
or
need
3
more
minutes.
when they're descending, like when they're.
Oh,
coming down
I
the
see.
land.
I see. Oh, that I just made your point. Yeah, because the departures are further away from the airport, and the incoming is already near the airport. I see what you're saying. That makes sense. I've told you the story about my 1989 fling with a Tony Roma's bartender. 89, 90, kind of between Kim and me moving up here. And she had this, it was fun dating bartender. It was really fun. Because they would close at 10 and I'd show up at 9:30. And we'd either split her dinner or she'd give me like a mistake. And I would eat it. I didn't care what it was. I'd eat it. But she had this thing. The reason I bring her up is that she had this thing. She drove a Volkswagen convertible Rabbit, a red convertible Rabbit. And she loved to smoke joints and go out to Playa del Rey and park on the hills of Playa del Rey and watch the planes come in. And I thought it was the goofiest thing in the world. I was like, really? This is what we're going to do tonight, huh? She goes, yeah, trust me, you're going to love this. So the first time we do this, I did it about 3 or 4 times with her, actually. And I'm like, I'm just trying to be that guy, trying to get along, do something goofy. Because, Ralph Bailey would have been like, have you gone crazy? I'm not going to sit out in the bluffs and smoke joints and watch planes come in. But I was trying to be that guy. She was really cute. And it was kind of a fun relationship. Didn't last long. And we go out there and it's on a slant. You're on a hill like this, right? Straight down, like almost 90 degrees. And it's nothing beach, nothing ocean. It's beautiful Playa del Rey, one of the most beautiful parts of Los Angeles. It's where Loyola Marymount is located. It's just gorgeous. And the planes come in because at night they have to circle over and avoid the city, and they come in through the ocean. And so these planes come in, and I'm telling you, the first time I did this, and granted, I was on THC quite a bit. And I'm telling you, Chris, as this plane comes in, I'm sitting there like this, and I'm like, hey, that's low. And she's like, calm down. Like, no, this thing is, and I'm telling you, it comes in, and you could, after I got used, like the second time, like the first time, I was just like, holy crap. But like the second time, I like paid attention, because the first time we only got one plane, because it was late. Because she'd get off at like 10, we'd be out there by like 10:30, 11 o'clock. So there was only one flight that was coming in that time. So I just freaked out. But the second time, we got like 2 or 3 planes. And I actually watched this time because I knew it wasn't going to hit us. Because the first time, I was convinced that the plane was going to hit us. And so the second time, I'm like, okay, it's not going to hit us. And I actually looked. She had a convertible. And I actually looked. You could see the belly of the plane. You could see the wheels. And if you're on THC, it's like being on heroin or something. It's like being on mushrooms. It's like surreal. So I'd share that with you. 842-537-6842-KER. What else you got? Marion was her name. Marion. She was fun, but she was a strange girl. I'll never forget that night she told me this. I said, what are we doing after this? And she said, oh, I'm going to turn you on to something. We're going to go out to Playa del Rey and watch the planes. And I thought she meant like, I don't know, just kind of watch planes go by. I didn't know. I'm sorry, I bored you with that. What else you got?
The judge handling Williams' sentencing is Judge Kenneth Twisselman, has been a judge for decades.
Good. I know of him. I don't know him personally, but he's a good judge. So we expect that he'll throw the book at her. We're talking about Madison Williams, the girl that got 2 DUIs inside of 3 months and tried to bribe a police officer, the first one. And thank the good Lord that she was white. And just, the poster child for the entitled rich white girl. And the second time, as I'm sure many of you, or most, if not all of you know, she ran her Mercedes into somebody's house and injured 2 children and seriously injured another adult and all but destroyed the home. I think I was reading Jason Katowski, Channel 17, was reporting there's like $35,000 worth of damage. The house was worth about $125,000. And this woman, I mean, how she doesn't get, and this is the problem with DUIs, that she can get 2 and 3 months and she's eligible for probation? Really? That's crazy. And there's one way to end or at least curtail DUIs, in my opinion, as a former offender 19 years ago, going on 20 this year. It's got to be mandatory jail. It's got to be mandatory jail. And nothing serious. You don't want anybody to lose their gigs. Maybe just maybe even a week in jail, maybe a couple of weekends in jail for a first offense. But then a second offense, then you got to throw the book at him and give him 6 months. So that's how you stop it. No, you won't stop everybody. You won't stop everybody. People will still drink and drive like idiots. I just don't understand in the era of the Uber how you could jump in a car and drive. I really don't. I really, really don't. And, you know, I look back on that Wednesday night in 2006. I was downtown. I was a mile and a half from my house, and I really, really almost took a cab. This was '06 was pre-Uber. And I almost took a cab. A buddy of mine came into town. It was 10:30 at night. I was sitting on the couch, stone cold sober, getting ready for work the next day. And they were at the Alley Cat, and they said, Ralph, come down and join us. And we ended up closing the joint. Literally, the last thing I did before I left was take a shot of Jack Daniels. And I had an automatic at the time. And you know how the downtown parking slots are slanted? And I distinctly remember them saying to myself, if I can't get the car in gear, because I don't drive manuals very well. And I said to myself, if I can't get it in gear and pull up, you know how it's kind of difficult to go uphill, backwards, and reverse? I'm going to take a cab. And unfortunately for me, I put it in reverse and came out smoothly. I was like, oh, okay. And I was making a left-hand turn to D Street off of F and got stopped right at the in front of the Junior League building. And I literally said, I live right up there. And they were like, no, sorry.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. I was literally 3 blocks from my house.
Mm.
I could have sprinted home. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That was a horrendous night, Jack. And then in the middle of the night, they called my name, and I thought I was getting released. And it was the Californian seeking a interview. And it's not that they wanted the interview. They just wanted to confirm that it was me. Because I actually had to sign something. Why I signed it, I have no idea. I was drunk. But they just wanted to see my signature so they could go and it was in the newspaper before I got out of jail the next day. I got out of jail at noon the next day, and it was already on the internet. I couldn't even tell my mother firsthand. By the time I called my mother at 1 o'clock that afternoon, she'd already known about it.
Are there a list of people that get busted for this that get just sent to the Californian? Or
no, but good crime reporters check the. That's why so many on-air people don't go by their real names.
Right.
Jazz McKay is named Daniel whatever, and
yeah,
they don't go by their real names. Like JR could never get a DUI that'll be publicized.
Yeah.
Because they know him as JR, but it would show up on the police blotter as Andrew Marino Flores. Who the hell is Andrew Marino? You know what I'm saying? But they saw Ralph Bailey, bing, 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 bing. And they just wanted to confirm because they don't want to say it's Ralph Bailey and do a Jasmine Crockett, you know what I'm saying? And it's Jeffrey Epstein, and they say Ralph Bailey gets popped, and I'm sitting at home, and it's Ralph Edward Bailey instead of Ralph Emerson Bailey. Horrible, horrible period in my life, man. And 15 weeks of sweeping up the fairgrounds, 15 weekends where I had to be there at 6 a.m., there till 2:30, and I did it during the summer. And actually, as I've said, we always hope for really, really hot days because they were kind of easy on us when it would be like 103, 104, because the county doesn't want you passing out and dying on them. So we would actually pray for hot days. But it's about as dumb a thing as you can do. It really is. It just makes no sense. It's incredibly expensive if you want to look at it that way. If you don't want to look at just your own safety or somebody else's, I can tell you it's ridiculously now in 2025, because this was 20 years ago. This is 06. Now, minimum 10 grand it's going to cost you. Minimum. It's just crazy. And if they want to stop it, they've got to start enacting mandatory jail. But, you know, do you really want to do that? Because now you're ruining people's lives. Because if I had to do jail time, I would probably lost my gig. Mr. Brandon wouldn't have put up with me not being here because I'm in jail for 3 months. So I think it's the only way we're going to stop it, though, because it's running rampant now. And it's not even buzz. The crazy thing, it's not even buzz driving. These people are hammered. 0.19 this girl blew, and she's a little girl. So it's even, you know, I'm a big fella. Even when back in 06, I was even bigger. I can handle my liquor. I was drunk, but let's face it. Well, I don't want to get into that. But the smaller you are, and females don't handle their liquor as well as men, I think that's fairly accurate. Is that not an accurate statement? No?
I think it's a case-by-case basis.
I think in general, men handle booze more. I think men drink more than women.
That's
the reason.
true, yeah.
Yeah. But she was hammered. She drove her car into a home. And a second DUI in 3 months. And she might get probation. Well, we're going to hope that Mr. Twisselman doesn't let us down. He throws a book at her. Let's go ahead and take our final break of the night. When we come back, you'll hear from the Carr brothers, David and Derek, giving some love to their middle brother, Darren, and his BCHS Eagles. What are they playing? Are they playing tonight?
Yeah, they play tonight.
Holy kingfish. That should be on TV. I don't know why 17 doesn't get into the prep high school.
They used to, didn't they?
I don't think so. Not that I know of.
I'm pretty sure when I was in high school, they had like a game of the week where they would broadcast it.
It get big numbers. VHS games, BCHS games, Garces games. You don't think that gets some ratings? I'm not sure KGT's that concerned about their ratings after 6:30, after the news, but nevertheless, and then I guess you're getting into Friday primetime television as well. But 6 to 8? Well, no, those games don't start till 7:30.
Yeah, you sometimes can go till
10, 10:30. Oh, who are you telling? Who are you telling? That's why I couldn't do it any longer. Couldn't climb up those ladders. Couldn't spend my Friday nights on top of press boxes. I don't know how JR does it. How is he not at the game tonight?
That's a good question. Well, actually, we haven't been carrying the playoff game.
No?
No. That's
all right. Final break of the night. Keep it locked. The Charlie Kirk Show. Monday, Dr. Jeet Singh. We had Jeet last week? I don't think so. No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
We had on Monday.
We had Chad Bianco at 3:30. So we'll talk with Dr. Jeet Singh on Monday, along with Kathy Abernathy, and whatever else happens over this weekend. You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN, where we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
Want to bust out your promo real quick?
Yeah. Three, two. I really love Mark Langell. He is such a good friend of the program and a good friend of mine, the Dodger historian. But I completely disagree with him. Dave Roberts, as big a critic as I am, deserves a Manager of the Year award, if nothing else, but for his body of work. Are you kidding me? 3, to It's That Man Again. Look what's coming up on the Monday TRBS. Well, it's Monday. We'll talk with Dr. Jeet Singh. And, of course, Kathy Abernathy will be here and all the weekend events. All that. Me at 3. It's TRBS. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KRN. I'll see you Monday.
Christmas trees to Bakersfield families throughout the holiday season, keeping traditions alive year after year. Visit one of our 3 convenient locations, 2312 Weibel Road at Wilson, 4000 White Lane, and Olive Drive in Roberts Lane next to Sonic. Alpine Christmas trees, a family tradition for 48 years. Look for the Alpine banner. If it doesn't say Alpine, it isn't Alpine Fresh.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at radiodirect.com/privacy. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Text help for help. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
You've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications that are all over the news, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie, and if you qualify, you can get medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1s at 80 to 90% savings without insurance, all 100% online.
Wait, I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No long wait at the doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide and tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, for 80 to 90% less and shipped direct to your door.
Amazing. How do I get started?
Just send them a text.
Text SLIM to 797979 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic for 80 to 90% less, 100% online. Don't wait. Text SLIM to 797979 right now for your exclusive offer. Text SLIM to 797979. That's SLIM to 797979.
These statements and products have not been evaluated or approved by the FDA for weight loss.
For over 50 years, Hard Rock has been where the music lives. Artists play our stages. Their stories line our walls, and guests walk away feeling like stars. We're a global icon built on one timeless ideal: love all, serve all. Introducing Hard Rock Casino to Home. Over 2,000 of the hottest slots, over 60 thrilling table games, and the energy only we can deliver. The sound check is over. Now open. Concerned about your gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, 426-2537.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage California can count on.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 a.m. on
ERN. I've been a big fan of the Cars' new podcast. What's it called?
Homegrown.
Homegrown. Horrible name. If the Carr family is listening, or if you know the Carr family, tell them that's a horrible name. Their name is Carr. There's so much you could do with that. Driving with the Cars. That's horrible. Car Squared. No, that's horrible. That's horrible.
We call it the Car Lot.
The Car Lot. No, that's horrible. That's horrible. I don't know. You could. It's just a great name to work with. Derek and David driving car. I don't know. Give me a minute. Meantime, here is David and Derek giving their middle brother Darren some love for his work at BCHS.
Darren. Shout out to you, Darren. We love you, man.
Good job.
Speaking of Thanksgiving, speaking of football, you know who else I'm thankful for?
Who's that?
Our brother Darren.
Oh, yeah, me too.
All right. Now, look, you guys have been coaching together a long time.
10 years.
But you know the head coach gets all the credit.
Yeah.
So you know what we're going to do?
Yeah.
We're going to give Darren his credit.
That's right.
Brother,
Hey.
his 100th win,
Hey, man.
if you win these next 2 games, which would make you state champions,
Okay, yes.
is Darren's 100th win.
How about that?
How many games have you guys lost in league play in the last 10 years?
One.
One loss
That's crazy.
in league game.
Yeah.
That is insane
And
dominance.
They ran Wildcat.
Hey, who has
The
been
entire
the
game.
dominant team? Who has been the dominant team in Bakersfield for not Bakersfield Christian, but is it Liberty,
Liberty,
right?
yeah.
They've been winning.
Yeah.
Who did you guys beat in the Valley Championship?
Just beat Liberty.
You just beat Liberty.
Yeah. For this little private school, this little Bakersfield Christian.
Now listen,
out over there.
I don't know if this is
Christian
propaganda or not, but if he's not Coach of the Year now,
well, he's definitely Coach of the Year.
Good grief.
Yeah, no, I'd give it to myself.
You guys are a
I'd give it to
D3
myself,
school?
but then
Are you D3 school?
D4.
D4?
Yeah.
It was D5 when I was there.
And we just started stacking wins, man.
Okay, and they moved you up to D1.
Yeah. And
And
you know what? They're like, we're gonna get rid of these kids.
Yeah.
We're gonna put them in D1.
We'll show them.
Yeah.
And you know what Darren did? He led them to a victory
Did a great job.
in the Valley Championship.
He's a leader of men.
He is a
And
leader.
you know what? He's developing great young men.
Most importantly.
Yep. Most importantly.
He's
and
winning.
then the wins just kind of come as a.
And then he's developing young men.
That's right. Whatever.
Hey, Darren, shout out
great
to
job,
you, bro.
man.
For real, man. We are proud of you. You are one of the greatest coaches of the Central Valley of all time.
Yeah.
Literally.
All time.
State champion already.
At least a
You've already
tenth of a
state
decade
champion.
he's been there. Been a state champion.
Already a state champion. You've lost one league game
One
since
league
you've been
game
there.
the whole time.
All right.
They keep
Just
changing
complete,
leagues. They
utter
keep
dominance.
changing leagues on it.
Hey, keep throwing them up. Oh,
Yeah.
Make them play these guys.
Sure.
You just keep dominating.
It's fine.
So shout out to you that you keep leading them. Shout out to you for against all odds. You guys go to D1, get your Valley Championship. Now go finish this thing off. Hey, and get the ball to Mike. Because my goodness, that guy is unbelievable.
Number
All
12.
right. Get the ball to 12. Your running backs.
Page,
Richland.
Give him the
Dre. You got players everywhere.
give him the ball.
Arnez playing
Yeah.
fullback.
Yeah, he just does
All right.
whatever our team needs.
Shout out to Bakersfield Christian Eagles.
Unselfish kids.
All right, so tighten us up on those names that they dropped.
Oh, I don't know all of them. I know Mike Smith, if I'm not mistaken. Or
We had him
Michael
in
Smith.
studio, didn't we?
I believe so.
I think
Yes,
we
he's
did.
one that sat in on one of the interviews
Yeah.
not too long ago, and he's quite the athlete. So
Yeah. That's a great program, and that's just crazy. And they're right. He's been overshadowed over the years by Coach Nixon, who was about to go into the Hall of Fame, as a matter of fact. And now he is, and before that, Gola had his day in the sun at BHS, and now they're right. He is the most dominant coach in our community right now. I mean, they've lost, and the other great point they make is how they kept upping this tiny little private school in divisions, and they continue to win. Doesn't matter what division they put them in. That's outstanding. Let's read a couple of text messages, and you go to the party, and I'll head home.
if you would get arrested on a Saturday night now, your name wouldn't be in the Californian until Tuesday.
Ain't that the truth? That's funny. Isn't that sad? God, when I worked there in 1995, we had a staff of maybe 30 reporters. They had a sports staff of maybe 20 reporters. I've told you the story when it's the first daily newspaper I ever worked for. I literally would have to walk outside sometimes just to get my thoughts clear because it would be so loud in that newsroom. And now it's just a shell of itself. And 5 years before they go total internet and are just completely out of business? That's just my guess. One more and I'm going home.
All of these streaming services are going to keep merging, and the prices will just keep going up until you're right back to basically where we started with an expensive cable bill you intended to get away from in the first place.
I thought Rick Bentley said that, but yeah, you're right. I know I'm paying $224 now. I looked at my bill and I'm like, how is my bill going up? And you know why, don't you?
I'm assuming some special channels in which you
I added Paramount. And I totally forgot about that. So now I'm back over 2 bills a month to watch television. I got it down. I stripped it down. Because you know how you do this. I told you when I did this how you do it. You threaten to leave. You say, I want to cancel. I'm going to Spectrum. And they will suck your big toe. And they gave me a nice little package, and it was what I wanted. And then I even called back because I lost some stuff, and I said, I want that back. And they did, because I was paying like $258, $260 at one point. I got it back down about $190, and I got all in the Landman, and I added Paramount. I'm back over 2 bills a month. That's like $2,500 a year to watch television. For Chris, I'm Ralph. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll wrap to you on Monday.
This is AM 1180 KERN, Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM, Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The Supreme Court has agreed to take up the constitutionality of President Trump's order on birthright citizenship. White House correspondent Craig Clugston reports.
On the first day of his second term in office, President Trump signed an executive order declaring that children born to parents who are in the United States illegally or temporarily are not American citizens. That order would upend more than 125 years of understanding of the Constitution's 14th Amendment. This coming spring, justices will hear the Trump administration's appeal of a lower court ruling that struck down the citizenship restrictions. Greg Clugston, Washington.
The Trump administration has plans to cut in-person Social Security visits.
Advocates worry that could lead to more office closures. Field offices have been crucial for in-person help with retirement and disability benefits. The plan outlines a target of no more than 15 million visits in 2026. A spokesperson says technology improvements mean that more people manage their benefits online or by phone. This year, 7,000 workers have been laid off. Some rural offices have already closed due to staffing issues. Critics argue that this move limits access for those without technology. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
California Congressman Darrell Issa isn't moving to Texas to run for Congress. He said he briefly considered it at the urging of Texas colleagues amid a redistricting scramble.